The night Naruto stole the Scroll of Seals to graduate the academy, he was supposed to learn one technique, the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Instead, through Shadow Clones sharing memories, he learned everything. The Flying Thunder God, the Reaper Death Seal, sealing techniques that made Jonin look like academy students. In one desperate night, the dead last student became the most dangerous 12-year-old in shinobi history, the forbidden prodigy who would reshape every arc from the Chunin exams to the Fourth War, mastering his father's legacy before he even knew Minato's name. Saga 1: The Forbidden Scroll Incident. The story of Naruto Uzumaki begins with tragedy and loneliness. 12 years before the series starts, the nine-tailed fox attacked the Hidden Leaf Village, and the fourth Hokage sealed the beast inside a newborn baby at the cost of his own life. That baby was Naruto, and despite the fourth's dying wish that the village see him as a hero, they saw only the demon that destroyed their homes and killed their loved ones. The third Hokage made it illegal to discuss the nine tails being sealed in Naruto, which meant the boy grew up ostracized without understanding why everyone hated him. By the present, Naruto has become the class clown pulling pranks and causing chaos because negative attention beats being invisible. The only person treating him with genuine respect is Iruka, an academy instructor who lost his parents to the Nine Tails attack, but manages to see Naruto as his own person. During one bonding moment, Naruto reveals his dream, becoming Hokage so the village will finally acknowledge him. It's heartbreaking and hopeful in equal measure. The problem is Naruto is terrible at performing ninjutsu. When the final academy exam requires students to successfully perform the clone jutsu, Naruto produces pathetic, lifeless copies while his classmates pass, including the talented Sasuke Uchiha. Mizuki, one of the instructors, sees opportunity in Naruto's desperation. He tells Naruto there's a secret makeup test, steal the Scroll of Seals from the Hokage's office, and learn a technique from it. Naruto, being 12 and desperate, doesn't question this suspicious request. He successfully steals one of the village's most dangerous artifacts, and finds a secluded forest spot to study it. The scroll contains forbidden techniques jutsu so powerful or dangerous they were sealed away. Naruto focuses on the first technique listed, the multiple shadow clone jutsu. Unlike regular clones that create intangible illusions, this forbidden version creates physical copies. The catch is massive chakra requirements, which Naruto has in abundance thanks to the Nine Tails. That's how it happened. Originally a straightforward story about learning one technique, defeating Mizuki with superior numbers, and graduating. But what if that night went differently? What if Naruto's desperation, combined with his massive chakra reserves and the Shadow Clone Jutsu's unique properties, led to something far more catastrophic? The divergence point is simple but devastating. Naruto learns everything. When Naruto settles with the scroll in that clearing, he's operating on pure desperation. He creates a shadow clone to help him study, then realizes something crucial when a shadow clone dispels, all memories and experiences transfer back to the original. For anyone else, this might be a minor advantage. For Naruto, who can create hundreds of clones, this transforms into the most broken training method imaginable. He creates 20 shadow clones and assigns each a different technique. Clone 1 masters the Shadow Clone Jutsu itself. Clone 2 studies the Flying Thunder God technique, the space-time ninjutsu that made the 4th Hokage legendary. Clone 3 examines the Reaper Death Seal. Clone 4 analyzes 8 trigram seal manipulation. Clones 5 through 20 divide up remaining techniques, summoning contracts, advanced sealing methods, chakra modifications, and techniques so dangerous they were deliberately locked away. The thing nobody appreciates about Naruto is that he's actually a genius with certain jutsu types. He struggles with academy techniques because they're designed for normal chakra reserves and don't suit his skill set. Forbidden jutsu, however, are designed to be powerful, complex, and chakra-intensive, exactly matching Naruto's natural strengths. Hours pass. Each clone makes progress at different rates. Shadow Clone Jutsu clicks almost immediately. Flying Thunder God is harder, requiring space-time theory understanding that takes multiple clones working parallel to comprehend. The Reaper Death Seal is terrifying but straightforward. Summon a death god, have it rip out someone's soul, sacrifice your own life. The kind of technique you learn in theory and pray you never use. As each clone dispels, Naruto's head fills with new information. It's overwhelming and exhilarating. He can feel knowledge settling into muscle memory, hand signs he's never practiced suddenly familiar, chakra flow patterns becoming instinctive. He's learning foundations at an impossible rate. 20 sets of memories, 20 perspectives on forbidden ninjutsu, all compressing into one mind. Approaching footsteps interrupt his training. Iruka appears, and Naruto instinctively moves to hide the scroll before realizing he's caught. Then Mizuki arrives, revealing his betrayal and gleefully dropping the Nine-Tails truth. He attacks, confident he's facing an academy failure and injured instructor. He's catastrophically wrong. When Mizuki's giant shuriken flies toward them, Naruto doesn't create 1,000 clones to dogpile the traitor. Instead, he moves, and for a fraction of a second, his body flickers and reappears 3 feet left. It's not perfect. Flying Thunder God, he hasn't mastered the marking system, and the distance is pathetic compared to the 4th Hokage, but it's enough. The shuriken passes through empty air. Mizuki's eyes widen in shock. Academy failures don't demonstrate techniques that made the 4th Hokage legendary. Naruto creates a dozen shadow clones, but these aren't barely functional copies. These are perfect duplicates, each moving with coordination and purpose, surrounding Mizuki from multiple angles. Iruka watches stunned as his student. The kid who couldn't perform basic clone jutsu hours ago executes forbidden techniques with impossible proficiency. When Mizuki counters with kunai, Naruto's hands move through ceiling signs, and chakra coalesces in a pattern Iruka recognizes with horror. Preparation for the Reaper Death Seal. Iruka throws himself forward, grabbing Naruto's hands and disrupting the technique. The urgency breaks through Naruto's combat focus. The kid doesn't fully understand what he was about to do, knows it's powerful and irreversible, but hasn't processed it would kill him. The clones take advantage of Mizuki's distraction and deliver a devastating coordinated assault, leaving the traitor unconscious. The immediate threat is over, but a larger problem has revealed itself. Naruto absorbed knowledge of multiple forbidden techniques dangerous in a jonin's hands, potentially catastrophic in a 12-year-old's, with poor impulse control and a massive chakra battery. The 3rd Hokage arrives minutes later with ANBU, responding to chakra signatures and reports of the stolen scroll. Hiruzen takes in the scene, Mizuki unconscious and injured, Iruka wounded but alive, Naruto standing protectively with the scroll at his feet, and lingering traces of forbidden techniques in the surrounding area. The old man's expression shifts from concern to shock to something approaching fear. He can sense changes in Naruto's chakra flow, see the new confidence in the boy's stance. Hiruzen orders ANBU to take Mizuki into custody and has the scroll secured. Then he asks Naruto a simple question. What did you learn? Naruto, still riding victories high and not grasping the gravity, excitedly lists techniques. Shadow Clone Jutsu, Flying Thunder God Basics, Theoretical Reaper Death Seal Knowledge, Sealing Formulas, Chakra Manipulation Methods, Summoning Contracts. With each technique mentioned, Hiruzen's expression grows graver. An emergency meeting convenes in the Hokage's office with the village elders and select jonin, including Kakashi Hatake. The discussion is tense and urgent. Naruto has accidentally acquired knowledge, making him simultaneously one of the village's greatest potential assets and greatest potential security risks. The Flying Thunder God alone took the 4th Hokage years to master. The Reaper Death Seal should never be used except in desperate circumstances. The decision that emerges will define Naruto's path forward. Keep this secret. The village cannot know a genin, especially the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, has access to forbidden techniques. Other villages cannot learn Konoha's Jinchuriki has suddenly become exponentially more dangerous. Even Naruto's peers and future teammates cannot be told initially. Hiruzen makes a personal commitment to train Naruto in controlling these techniques. He clears schedule time to work directly with the boy, something he hasn't done for any genin in years. Training is intensive, focused on 2 goals, helping Naruto understand what he's learned and teaching him restraint. A 12-year-old with power to summon death gods or teleport across battlefields needs to understand responsibility. Naruto graduates Iruka ensures that, giving him the forehead protector as both reward and symbol of trust, but graduation comes with restrictions. He's ordered to keep forbidden techniques hidden unless absolutely necessary. He's assigned to Team 7 under Kakashi Hatake, who is briefed beforehand. Kakashi, who learned Flying Thunder God from the 4th Hokage himself, will serve as both instructor and monitor, evaluating whether Naruto can handle this power responsibly. The immediate aftermath ripples outward in subtle ways. Naruto must learn to act normal, pretending he's still the talentless prankster, even as he practices forbidden jutsu in secret sessions with the Hokage. Hiruzen becomes far more invested than in the original timeline, seeing both potential to surpass Naruto's father and danger of power without wisdom. The village leadership watches with mixed hope and wariness. He could become the greatest ninja the Hidden Leaf produced, or something far more dangerous. The foundation is laid for something unprecedented. Naruto's accelerated growth will impact every major future event. Team 7's formation will operate under different dynamics, with Kakashi secretly testing Naruto's control, while Sasuke and Sakura remain ignorant. Their missions will be influenced by Naruto's hidden arsenal, creating situations where he must choose between revealing power and maintaining deception. This one desperate night, this moment of accidental genius enabled by shadow clones and determination, has fundamentally altered Naruto Uzumaki's trajectory. He's still the same loud, determined kid dreaming of becoming Hokage and earning respect. But now he's that kid with theoretical knowledge to teleport across battlefields, summon ancient powers, and execute techniques most jonin couldn't perform. The question isn't whether this power will reveal itself, it's when, under what circumstances, and what consequences follow when the shinobi world realizes the Hidden Leaf's Jinchuriki has become something far more than anyone expected. The timeline has diverged, and everything that follows cascades from this single night when Naruto learned all of the forbidden techniques. Saga 2, Team 7 Formation, Wave Mission. Team 7's formation established dynamics that would define these characters for years. When Naruto joined Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha under Kakashi Hatake, the bell test appeared straightforward: grab one of 2 bells before noon, despite there being 3 students. The real test measured teamwork, rather than individual prowess. The initial attempt ended in spectacular failure. Naruto charged with predictable recklessness and suffered the humiliating 1,000 Years of Death technique. Sasuke attempted to defeat Kakashi through stealth and Uchiha combat skills, only to discover the vast gulf separating academy graduates from experienced jonin. Sakura spent most of the test paralyzed by concern for Sasuke. They failed because they fundamentally misunderstood what was being tested. Ninja who abandon teamwork are doomed to fail. Kakashi granted them a second opportunity after lunch with a harsh condition. Naruto, who had tried to steal food earlier, wouldn't eat. Anyone who fed him would fail. Sasuke recognized they'd need Naruto at full strength and offered his lunch. Sakura followed. When Kakashi confronted them about disobeying orders, they stood together as a team. He revealed they'd passed the bells never mattered. Those who abandon friends are worse than scum. After enduring D-rank missions, the 3rd Hokage assigned them a C-rank escort to the Land of Waves. The mission went catastrophically wrong when the Demon Brothers attacked, revealing Chunin-level opponents on a routine assignment. Tazuna confessed the truth. Gato's criminal empire controlled his country, and the bridge threatened that monopoly. Zabuza Momochi attacked, trapped Kakashi in a water prison, until Naruto and Sasuke's coordinated Shadow Shuriken technique freed him. A masked hunter nin named Haku apparently killed Zabuza and vanished. During recovery, Kakashi trained Team 7 Inches chakra control, while explaining Zabuza survived. When Zabuza returned, Haku trapped Sasuke in demonic mirroring ice crystals. Naruto entered foolishly, and during the desperate battle, Sasuke awakened his Sharingan before sacrificing himself to protect Naruto. This triggered the Nine-Tails' chakra leak. Naruto's wounds healed, his eyes turned red with slitted pupils, and demonic power demolished Haku's technique. Haku intercepted Kakashi's lightning cutter to protect Zabuza, dying for his precious person. When Gato arrived with thugs, Zabuza killed him before collapsing. Inari rallied the townspeople, and the completed bridge was named the Great Naruto Bridge. The timeline where Naruto learned every technique from the Forbidden Scroll transforms the Land of Waves mission into a psychological pressure cooker, where he must hide world-changing power while watching his teammates face mortal danger he could prevent. Naruto carries knowledge that makes him a target for assassination. Hiruzen has ordered him to hide his abilities from everyone, forcing him to pretend he's the talentless troublemaker everyone expects. Kakashi has been briefed about the Forbidden Scroll incident, serving dual purposes as trainer and assessor, evaluating whether a 12-year-old with poor impulse control can handle techniques that made the 4th Hokage legendary. The bell test transforms into Kakashi's evaluation of Naruto's self-control. When Naruto's shadow clones attack, their positioning creates overlapping coverage, suggesting tactical awareness that shouldn't exist. Kakashi catches Naruto starting hand seals beyond academy curriculum before the boy catches himself. Each moment remains subtle enough that Sasuke and Sakura notice nothing. They pass. Naruto proved he could maintain cover, despite possessing techniques that could have solved the exercise instantly. The D-rank missions become psychological torture. Chasing cats feels insulting when you understand the framework for techniques that made the 4th Hokage feared. When Naruto bursts into Hiruzen's office demanding a real mission, the old man recognizes dangerous signs. Naruto is struggling with the disconnect between hidden power and public role. The Tazuna escort becomes calculated risk, giving Naruto supervised opportunity to use forbidden techniques if necessary. When they pass puddles on a sunny day without recent rain, Naruto's detection techniques allow him to sense the chakra distortion hiding the demon brothers. Recognizing the trap creates immediate dilemma, warning the team reveals knowledge he shouldn't possess. He chooses silence, gambling Kakashi will handle it, and hates himself for that choice. When the demon brothers attack and one lunges at Naruto with poisoned claws, his body reacts on instinct. His form flickers with spatial distortion, shifting 6 inches sideways in a manner that defies physics. The claw grazes his arm instead of puncturing his torso. Only Kakashi catches it. Zabuza's arrival forces visible divergence. When the hiding in mist technique reduces visibility to 0, Naruto's sealing techniques for sensing chakra become impossible to suppress. He can feel Zabuza's enormous chakra moving through fog. When Zabuza appears in their defensive formation, Naruto reacts a split second before Kakashi intercepts. The demon of the hidden mist's eyes track to Naruto. How did a genin sense his approach? After Zabuza traps Kakashi in the water prison, Naruto's shadow clones take formation at precise intervals, creating overlapping coverage that Zabuza recognizes from advanced tactical manuals. When the massive sword swings, the clones dodge with coordinated precision, maintaining formation integrity. Zabuza's eyes narrow. Something is wrong with this blonde kid. Sasuke and Naruto execute the Shadow Shuriken technique, but when Naruto throws the kunai while flying through air, the trajectory achieves perfection. The angle forces Zabuza into binary choice: maintain the water prison but take the kunai, or release Kakashi to dodge. The precision shouldn't be possible from someone who barely passed academy exams. Zabuza releases Kakashi, and after Haku's intervention, Kakashi gives Naruto a long look, promising serious conversation later. During tree climbing training, Naruto deliberately sabotages his attempts to maintain cover. In private forest sessions, Kakashi addresses everything directly. Naruto admits he learned the theory, but most techniques he's only practiced in controlled conditions. The flying thunder god barely functions. He can move a few feet with full concentration. Kakashi grants explicit permission to use abilities if circumstances become desperate, emphasizing restraint. They work on refining the flying thunder god, with Kakashi providing guidance based on his training under the 4th Hokage. The time proves insufficient to master the technique, but Naruto develops better spatial awareness and reliable, shorter-range teleportation of a few meters. When the final battle arrives, Naruto's sensory abilities detect hostile chakra signatures. His head turns toward Zabuza's position before the missing nin becomes visible. After Haku traps Sasuke in demonic mirroring ice crystals, Naruto enters foolishly. His tactical mind immediately analyzes the Kekkei Genkai Hyoton chakra, forming ice release through wind and water transformations. The mirrors sustain through constant chakra flow that could be disrupted. Understanding theoretically and accomplishing practically exist as different challenges. They take brutal damage until Haku launches a finishing blow at Naruto. Sasuke Sharingan blazing throws himself in front of the attack. Time stops as Naruto processes what happened. Sasuke sacrificed himself. The Ninetales response triggers the chakra leak. Red demonic energy pours out, wounds healing as transformation starts. But this time differs fundamentally. All those meditation sessions, chakra control training, practice maintaining focus, it creates just enough mental clarity for Naruto to direct the Ninetales chakra rather than being consumed. He's not fully in control, still riding the edge of losing himself to rage, but enough conscious mind remains to make tactical decisions. Operating on instinct enhanced by theoretical study, Naruto accomplishes something nobody predicted. He combines the Ninetales massive chakra with spatial awareness and displacement principles of Flying Thunder God. His body begins moving through space in ways that violate normal physics, creating localized reality distortions. This represents raw, chaotic space-time manipulation powered by demonic chakra and desperate need. Naruto's form flickers as he attacks ice mirrors from multiple angles simultaneously. He's breaking through spatial distortions that crack the Hyoton structure from within. When his fist passes through mirror-occupied space, reality bends around it, creating stress fractures, propagating like spiderwebs. Haku's technique disintegrates under assault it was never designed to handle. Haku barely escapes, his mask cracking from the pressure wave. Naruto is on him instantly, moving faster than Zabuza's eyes can track. Kakashi senses the chakra spike mixed with spatial distortions, triggering memories of fighting alongside Minato Namikaze. Naruto's clawed hand stops inches from Haku's throat as the mask breaks away, revealing the boy from the forest. Recognition hits like physical blow. An emotional shock disrupts the transformation. The Ninetales chakra recedes. The damage is done, he's revealed capabilities no genin should possess. The battle concludes with Haku's sacrifice, Gato's death, and Zabuza's resolution. When Naruto creates shadow clones for intimidation, they flicker with residual spatial distortions, appearing in multiple places through afterimages. The mercenaries flee in terror. During burial, Kakashi delivers a revelation that doesn't come until much later in the original timeline. What Naruto accomplished, combining Ninetales' chakra with Flying Thunder God principles, was extremely dangerous. But his father would have been impressed. Naruto combined two of his father's techniques in a way even the fourth Hokage never attempted. The weight of learning the fourth Hokage was his father doesn't fully sink in immediately, but as pieces connect, Naruto realizes the Flying Thunder God was his father's technique, and somehow he used it combined with the 9 tails his father sealed. The consequences spread immediately. Gato's mercenaries return to the mainland with stories about Konoha's demon container and impossible techniques. Kakashi's mission report causes emergency leadership meetings. Hiruzen publicly acknowledges Naruto as a prodigy, receiving advanced training, withholding Forbidden Scroll mention. The official story claims natural affinity due to massive chakra reserves. For Naruto, the return journey is processing and reflection. He saved his teammates but revealed his secret. He combined history's most powerful techniques but nearly lost control. He learned his father was the 4th Hokage, but doesn't understand why the 9 tails was sealed inside him. The mission transformed from simple escort into the moment where Naruto Uzumaki stopped being a hidden weapon and became a known threat on the international stage. The bridge named after him stands as marker of that transformation, and as Team 7 disappears into the distance, none fully grasp how profoundly this mission has altered their lives and the shinobi world itself. Before we move on, subscribe to our channel. Saga 3: Chunin Exams Arc. In the original timeline, the Chunin exams represented a turning point for the Rookie 9, testing them against competitors from across the shinobi world, while introducing legendary figures and setting the stage for Orochimaru's invasion. The first phase, proctored by Ibiki Morino, was a written test designed to evaluate information-gathering skills and willpower. The first 9 questions required candidates to cheat without being caught. Naruto panicked, having missed the point entirely, while Sasuke used his Sharingan to copy answers, and Sakura solved everything through her own intellect. The 10th question was the real test refuse and your team fails, but answer incorrectly and you're barred from the exam forever. Naruto's declaration that he'd become Hokage even if he stayed genin forever demonstrated the willpower Ibiki sought, and everyone who stayed passed. The second phase in the Forest of Death became a survival exercise, where teams needed both Heaven and Earth scrolls to reach the tower within 5 days. Team 7 encountered Orochimaru, who placed the 5-element seal on Naruto, disrupting his chakra flow and sealing Ninetales' access. Then marked Sasuke with the Cursed Seal of Heaven before sending Team Dosu to finish them. While Naruto and Sasuke recovered, Sakura defended them desperately. When Sasuke awoke with the curse mark taking effect, his murderous state overwhelmed Team Dosu until Sakura's embrace brought him back. The preliminaries showcased emerging talents through one-on-one elimination matches. Sasuke defeated Yoroi using the Lion combo despite the curse mark's effects. Naruto overcame Kiba through strategy and accidental biological warfare. The most brutal match saw Neji systematically destroy Hinata, nearly killing her. Rock Lee vs. Gaara demonstrated the gap between determination and overwhelming power. Lee opened 5 inner gates, but Gaara's sand defense prevailed before crushing his arm and leg. The finals began with Naruto defeating Neji through Nine-Tails' enhanced power and refusal to accept destiny. Sasuke arrived late for his match against Gaara, demonstrating Kakashi's Chidori. Before the match concluded, Orochimaru's invasion began. He trapped the 3rd Hokage in a barrier and summoned the 1st and 2nd Hokage using Edo Tensei. Hiruzen fought desperately, eventually using the Reaper Death Seal to seal Orochimaru's arms at the cost of his own life. The 3rd Hokage died a hero, but Konoha paid a heavy price. In the timeline where Naruto learned the Forbidden Scrolls techniques, the Chunin exams become something far more dangerous. After the Land of Waves mission, word has spread about Konoha's Jinchuriki, demonstrating impossible abilities. When Kakashi nominates Team 7 for the exams, Hiruzen makes a calculated decision to allow Naruto to display more power publicly as a deterrent. Let other villages see what Konoha possesses and think twice about aggression. The first phase proceeds differently. When Naruto examines the test questions, he actually recognizes several. The Forbidden Scroll contained theoretical knowledge about chakra manipulation, sealing theory, and ninja history. He could legitimately answer half the questions, though doing so would raise suspicions about where a dead-last graduate obtained such information. Naruto answers strategically enough to pass, but not so many it seems impossible. When Ibiki presents the 10th question, Naruto's declaration carries additional weight. He knows he has power most genin can't imagine, speaking from genuine confidence rather than desperate bravado. The Forest of Death transforms dramatically. Orochimaru had planned to target Sasuke specifically, but intelligence reports about the Land of Waves shifted his priorities. Why settle for just the Sharingan when Konoha's Jinchuriki apparently knows forbidden techniques, including space-time ninjutsu? The strategic value of capturing Naruto suddenly rivals his interest in Sasuke. When Orochimaru appears before Team 7, his attention splits between both boys. He summons a massive snake to gauge reactions. Sasuke freezes at the overwhelming killing intent, but Naruto responds with tactical awareness that shouldn't exist in a genin. His hands move through sealing signs learned from the scroll fragments of sealing jutsu adapted for combat. Chakra flows in patterns that disrupt the snake's chakra network, causing it to recoil. Orochimaru's eyes widen. Those hand signs, that manipulation style, it's from the Scroll of Seals. How did this child obtain that knowledge? The battle escalates as Orochimaru becomes genuinely interested in capturing Naruto. He attempts the 5-element seal, but Naruto recognizes the technique from his studies. He doesn't have the skill to counter it completely, but twists away at the last second, taking a glancing blow that disrupts his chakra flow without completely sealing the Nine-Tails. When Orochimaru moves to mark Sasuke, Naruto intervenes. He studied sealing techniques extensively, understands how curse marks function. If you disrupt the sealing process at the right moment, you can prevent the mark from properly taking hold. Shadow clones attack from multiple angles, forcing Orochimaru to choose between completing the curse mark or defending himself. The Sannin prioritizes defense, and the curse mark fails to fully transfer. Sasuke gets marked, but the seal is incomplete, unstable, far less powerful than intended. Orochimaru makes tactical retreat, but not before making his interest explicit. The Scroll of Seals. How delicious. The third's pet Jinchuriki, playing with forbidden knowledge. I'll be seeing you again, Naruto-kun. The encounter leaves Team 7 shaken but in better condition. Sasuke has a partial curse mark that's weak and unstable. Naruto is impaired by the partial 5-element seal, but not completely cut off from the Nine-Tails. The preliminaries showcase how far ahead Naruto has pulled. When he fights Kiba, the match isn't close. Chakra control, enhanced by months of training, allows him to create shadow clones that move with perfect coordination. Tactical awareness lets him predict attacks before they land. When Kiba and Akamaru use Beast Human Clone, Naruto counters with sealing technique fragments that disrupt their synchronized chakra. The match ends in minutes. Sasuke watches from the sidelines, fists clenched, inferiority complex crystallizing. He thought awakening the Sharingan meant surpassing Naruto, only to discover his teammate was operating on a completely different level. During the training month, Jiraiya arrives, having heard reports about Naruto's preliminaries performance. After learning about the Scroll of Seals incident, he volunteers to train Naruto personally. Instead of just teaching basic summoning, Jiraiya focuses on refining the Flying Thunder God technique. providing guidance based on knowledge of space-time ninjutsu and research into Minato's methods. Naruto's teleportation range increases from a few feet to over 20 meters. Jiraiya introduces the Rasengan, and with his Forbidden Scroll foundation in chakra manipulation, Naruto grasps the principles in days. By month's end, he can form a stable Rasengan consistently, though it requires Shadow Clone assistance. The finals arrive with altered arrangements. The first match, Naruto versus Gaara. The matchmakers deliberately put the two Jinchuriki against each other, wanting to see how Konoha's forbidden prodigy matches against Suna's ultimate weapon. The battle is legendary from opening moments. Flying Thunder God training lets Naruto test Gaara's sand defense from multiple angles simultaneously. When Gaara transforms, allowing Shukaku's influence to emerge, Naruto counters with sealing techniques that interfere with sand manipulation. When Gaara fully transforms, Naruto responds by combining Nine Tails chakra with his sealing knowledge, creating containment seals mid-combat that partially suppress Shukaku's manifestation. In the climax, Naruto hits Gaara with a Flying Thunder God enhanced Rasengan. Gaara goes down unconscious. Naruto wins. The implications ripple through the stadium. Foreign dignitaries begin urgent whispered conversations. This changes power balance calculations significantly. Before the invasion can begin as planned, Naruto's victory forces Orochimaru to accelerate his timeline. When Kabuto activates the Genjutsu, the invasion commences with additional chaos. Forces weren't fully prepared for early activation. Orochimaru still traps Hiruzen and summons the first and second Hokage using Edo Tensei. But this time, he's not the only one with forbidden knowledge. Naruto senses the massive chakra disturbance and recognizes Edo Tensei from the scroll. He immediately moves toward the barrier with Kakashi and other Jonin. His sealing knowledge gives him insight into the barrier's structure. He can't break it alone, but can weaken specific points. Working together, they create a temporary opening enough for Naruto to slip inside using Flying Thunder God displacement. His arrival transforms the battle. Hiruzen has been fighting desperately, preparing to use the Reaper Death Seal. But Naruto's interference disrupts those plans. He uses sealing techniques to interfere with Edo Tensei's control, creating moments where the resurrected Hokage can resist commands. When Orochimaru realizes what's happening, he diverts attention from Hiruzen to attack Naruto directly. This proves to be his fatal tactical error. Given breathing room, Hiruzen uses high-level elemental combinations that push Orochimaru back. The Snake Sannin finds himself fighting on two fronts against opponents who both understand forbidden jutsu. The battle reaches its climax when Naruto and Hiruzen coordinate their sealing techniques. Together, they severely damage Orochimaru's chakra network and force him to abort Edo Tensei. The first and second Hokage's souls are released. Orochimaru, critically wounded, retreats using substitution. The third Hokage survives, though barely. The aftermath is transformative. Hiruzen remains Hokage, though he begins preparing for eventual succession. Naruto is hailed as a hero who saved the third Hokage's life. The village's perception shifts dramatically. He's the forbidden prodigy, a title carrying both respect and wariness. Gaara's transformation happens earlier and more completely, being defeated by another Jinchuriki who chose a different path. Sasuke's inferiority complex reaches critical mass, driving him toward desperate thoughts about closing the distance. Orochimaru's obsession with capturing Naruto intensifies to match his interest in Sasuke. Within the broader shinobi world, the exams demonstrate that Konoha possesses something unprecedented. Other villages begin reassessing military strategies. The Akatsuki start moving up their schedule. Jiraiya remains in the village longer, recognizing that Naruto has become a high-value target. Hiruzen, surviving fundamentally alters the political landscape. There's no Tsunade search mission. Instead, Hiruzen begins openly mentoring Naruto as his eventual successor. The Chunin exams end not with tragedy and succession crisis, but with transformation and new possibilities. Naruto has stepped fully into the light as Konoha's forbidden prodigy, and every choice from this point forward will shape the future of the entire shinobi world. Saga 4: Sasuke Crisis and Search for Tsunade. In the original timeline, the aftermath of the Chunin exams invasion set up a chain of events that would fundamentally alter Team 7's dynamic forever. After Orochimaru's failed invasion and the third Hokage's death, Konoha found itself without leadership. Jiraiya declined the position, recommending instead Tsunade, granddaughter of the first Hokage. Because her whereabouts were unknown, Jiraiya volunteered to search for her, bringing Naruto along for protection and training. Meanwhile, Akatsuki members Itachi, Uchiha, and Kisame Hoshigaki infiltrated Konoha seeking the Nine Tails. They quickly outmatched Asuma and Kurenai, and when Kakashi arrived, Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan trapped him in Tsukuyomi, leaving him comatose. Sasuke learned of his brother's return and confronted Itachi, only to be effortlessly defeated and forced to relive the clan massacre. The psychological trauma left him comatose alongside Kakashi, and Jiraiya realized only Tsunade could save them. During the search, Jiraiya began teaching Naruto the Rasengan. When they located Tsunade, Orochimaru had also found her, seeking her medical expertise to heal his arms. He offered to resurrect her dead loved ones using forbidden jutsu if she would restore his abilities. Tsunade initially considered the offer, but after meeting Naruto and seeing his determination, she remembered what it meant to protect one's dreams. She betrayed Orochimaru, leading to a massive battle where Naruto perfected the Rasengan and defeated Kabuto. Tsunade agreed to return as the 5th Hokage, healing both Kakashi and Sasuke. But the damage to Sasuke's psyche was profound, planting seeds of jealousy that would eventually drive him to defect to Orochimaru in search of power. In the timeline where Naruto learned the Forbidden Scrolls techniques and the 3rd Hokage survived the invasion, this arc transforms into something far more volatile and personal. The divergence begins with the fundamental fact that Hiruzen Sarutobi is alive. Weakened and injured but still serving as Hokage, this changes the entire political landscape. There's no succession crisis, no desperate need for new leadership. Instead, Hiruzen recognizes the village needs medical expertise to recover from invasion casualties and prepare for future threats. Sasuke's psychological state entering this arc is fundamentally different. In the Chunin exams, he watched Naruto dominate another Jinchuriki using space-time ninjutsu and advanced sealing jutsu. He watched Naruto save the 3rd Hokage from Orochimaru, using forbidden knowledge that disrupted Edo Tensei. The gap between them is a chasm so wide Sasuke can't even see across it anymore. His Sharingan feels worthless when Naruto can teleport faster than Sasuke's eyes can track. When Itachi and Kisame arrive in Konoha seeking Naruto, they're also testing him, assessing whether reports about his forbidden techniques are accurate. Asuma and Kurenai confront them, quickly finding themselves outmatched. Kakashi arrives to help, but when Itachi moves to use Tsukuyomi, Naruto arrives on the scene. He's been training with Jiraiya since the invasion, refining his forbidden techniques. When Naruto senses the massive chakra signatures, his detection abilities honed through scroll knowledge, he investigates immediately. Itachi's attention shifts from Kakashi to Naruto, curiosity overriding his plan. He wants to see if the Nine Tails container really has mastered space-time ninjutsu. The confrontation that follows is unprecedented. Naruto engages Itachi using Flying Thunder God principles, marking locations and displacing himself in short bursts that make him harder to track, even with the Sharingan. Itachi is forced to take Naruto seriously, activating his Mangekyo, Sharingan, and using techniques he wouldn't waste on a normal genin. The battle showcases the terrifying power gap between Naruto and his peers. He's holding his own against Itachi Uchiha, even if only briefly. Kisame recognizes the chakra signatures match descriptions of the 4th Hokage's techniques. This is dangerous. Sasuke arrives during this confrontation, having heard about Itachi's presence. What he witnesses breaks something fundamental inside him. His brother is being forced to fight seriously against Naruto, not against Sasuke, against Naruto, the dead last who couldn't even perform a basic clone jutsu a year ago. When Sasuke tries to intervene with his Chidori, Itachi dismisses him with casual brutality that makes clear Sasuke isn't worth acknowledging as a threat. Jiraiya's arrival forces Itachi and Kisame to retreat, but before leaving, Itachi uses Tsukuyomi on Sasuke anyway, forcing him to relive the clan massacre while specifically highlighting how much stronger Naruto has become. It's psychological warfare, designed to maximize Sasuke's trauma and jealousy. The aftermath leaves Sasuke comatose, his mind screaming with rage. When Tsunade eventually heals him days later, he wakes consumed by jealousy so intense it borders on hatred. Naruto fought Itachi. Naruto made Itachi actually try. Meanwhile, Sasuke was dismissed like an insect, not even worth his brother's attention. The hospital rooftop confrontation happens shortly after Sasuke recovers. In the original timeline, It was about pride and rivalry. In this timeline, it's about Sasuke's desperate need to prove he's not inferior. When they fight, Sasuke uses Chidori, and Naruto responds with Rasengan, but the power differential is more obvious. Naruto surpassed Sasuke. His Rasengan, enhanced by superior chakra control from Forbidden Scroll training, completely demolishes the water tower, while Sasuke's Chidori only dents it. But more than that, Naruto reveals fragments of truth about his abilities. He mentions the Forbidden Scroll, acknowledges he's been training with Hiruzen personally, admits his techniques come from knowledge that should have been sealed away. This confirmation that Naruto has access to power through circumstances rather than pure talent drives Sasuke further toward the edge. It's not fair. Naruto got lucky, stole knowledge he didn't deserve, and now he's stronger because of it. Kakashi intervenes before they can seriously injure each other, but his lecture falls on deaf ears. Sasuke's mind is made up. He needs power, whatever the cost, and he'll never get it in Konoha, where Naruto's shadow grows larger every day. The Sound 4 arrive with Orochimaru's offer, but this time the pitch is specifically tailored to Sasuke's jealousy. Orochimaru promises knowledge of how to counter Naruto's forbidden techniques, how to neutralize space-time ninjutsu, how to fight someone who should be unstoppable. The curse mark enhancement they offer is designed to boost Sasuke's abilities in ways that match the speed and power Naruto demonstrated. Sasuke's defection happens differently. He doesn't leave immediately, he waits, watching Naruto train with Jiraiya, seeing the Toad Sage teach him even more advanced techniques. When Jiraiya and Naruto prepare to leave on the Tsunade search mission, Sasuke sees it as confirmation that Naruto is getting special treatment. He leaves during the night of their departure, meeting the Sound 4 at the village gates. Sakura tries to stop him, but Sasuke's response is colder this time. He tells her she could never understand what it's like to be overshadowed by someone who doesn't deserve their power. He knocks her unconscious and leaves. Meanwhile, Jiraiya and Naruto track down Tsunade with different motivations. They're recruiting a medical specialist to help Konoha recover, not searching for a new Hokage. Hiruzen specifically requested Tsunade's assistance for anticipated future conflicts. The search proceeds with Naruto training in the Rasengan during their travels. His learning curve is even faster because his Forbidden Scroll knowledge gives him intuitive understanding of chakra manipulation. He masters the technique in less than a week, shocking even Jiraiya. When they locate Tsunade, they discover Orochimaru has also found her, and he's not alone. Sasuke is with him, along with Kabuto. The confrontation that follows is a four-way conflict. Orochimaru still wants Tsunade to heal his arms, but his interest in Naruto has intensified. He monologues about how fascinating it is to see the Forbidden Prodigy and the last Uchiha in the same location. This is when Naruto realizes Sasuke has truly defected, truly chosen Orochimaru's path. The battle that erupts is catastrophic. Jiraiya engages Orochimaru, Kabuto fights Tsunade, and Naruto fights Sasuke directly. Their second confrontation, but this time with lethal intent behind Sasuke's attacks. Sasuke has activated his Curse Mark's second stage, making him faster and stronger than ever. He's studied Naruto's techniques, developed counters, and he's determined to prove he's not inferior. The fight showcases how far both have come. Sasuke's Curse Mark-enhanced Sharingan lets him predict Naruto's Flying Thunder God teleportations to a degree. His Chidori tears through shadow clones and forces Naruto defensive, but Naruto counters with Rasengan attacks combined with teleportation, creating assault patterns even the Sharingan struggles to follow. The battle escalates until Naruto gains decisive advantage. He creates an opening using shadow clones as decoys, teleports into Sasuke's blind spot, and hits him with a Rasengan that sends him crashing down. Sasuke lies defeated, and Naruto stands over him with a kunai drawn. But Naruto can't do it. Despite everything, the betrayal, the attacks, the hatred, Naruto sees his former teammate, someone he promised to protect. He hesitates, and that hesitation costs him. Orochimaru uses the distraction to attack, forcing Jiraiya to protect Naruto. In that chaos, Sasuke escapes with Orochimaru and Kabuto. Tsunade, watching this exchange, sees in Naruto something she'd forgotten: the willingness to sacrifice personal advantage for the sake of bonds. She's reminded of Nawaki and Dan, of the will of fire her grandfather embodied. When Jiraiya formally requests her assistance in returning to Konoha as chief medical officer, she agrees without hesitation. The return to Konoha is bittersweet. Tsunade arrives to help the village recover, bringing her legendary medical skills. But Naruto is consumed by guilt over Sasuke's escape. He had a chance to bring Sasuke back forcefully and let emotions override mission objectives. Sakura's reaction is complicated, devastated that Sasuke left, angry at Naruto for not forcing him to return. Naruto renews his vow to retrieve Sasuke eventually, but he's not sure how that will be possible when they're on opposite sides. Sasuke's defection under these circumstances changes his character arc fundamentally. In the original timeline, he left because he felt weak and needed power to defeat Itachi. In this timeline, he leaves because he feels overshadowed and needs power specifically to surpass Naruto. His training with Orochimaru becomes focused on developing techniques to counter forbidden jutsu, to neutralize space-time manipulation, to defeat someone who should be unbeatable. The immediate aftermath sees Konoha in a strange position. They have their Hokage alive, legendary medical support, and a Jinchuriki with unprecedented abilities. But they've also lost one of their most promising genin to a traitor Sannin. The village has grown stronger in some ways and more vulnerable in others. Reports spread about the confrontation, and word reaches other villages that Sasuke Uchiha has defected. The Akatsuki also take note, their interest in Naruto intensifying. Their timeline for Jinchuriki collection begins shifting, moving Naruto up their target list. As the dust settles, several truths become clear. The Tsunade mission succeeded in bringing legendary medical expertise to Konoha, but it revealed that Sasuke's defection was inevitable, driven by jealousy no amount of friendship could overcome. The dynamic between Naruto and Sasuke has transformed from rivalry into something more dangerous, a conflict between former teammates on opposite sides of a war. The stage is set for the next phase of Naruto's journey, with the Akatsuki accelerating their plans and Sasuke learning to counter forbidden techniques under Orochimaru's guidance. The question is no longer whether they'll fight again, but when and what the cost will be for everyone they care about. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Saga Fem, Time Skip Transition Training. In the original timeline, the failure of the Sasuke retrieval mission marked the end of Part 1 and set the stage for Naruto's most transformative period of growth. After Sasuke defected to Orochimaru and the retrieval team failed to bring him back, Naruto was left hospitalized and devastated. Jiraiya, recognizing that Akatsuki would eventually come for Naruto and that Orochimaru posed an ongoing threat, proposed an extended training journey to prepare Naruto for the challenges ahead. The training would last 2.5 years, taking Naruto far from Konoha to train in secret locations across the shinobi world. During this time skip, Naruto traveled with Jiraiya through various countries and villages, gathering intelligence on Akatsuki while developing his abilities. The training focused primarily on increasing his raw power, improving his chakra control, and developing larger variations of the Rasengan. Jiraiya taught him to better access and control the Nine Tails' chakra, though this remained dangerous and unpredictable. They infiltrated enemy territories, encountered dangerous opponents, and survived situations that pushed Naruto to his limits repeatedly. The physical transformation was dramatic. Naruto grew taller, his voice deepened, and he matured from a hyperactive child into a young man. His orange jumpsuit was replaced with a more practical outfit in black and orange, and his combat style evolved from purely relying on shadow clones to incorporating more strategic thinking. He developed the Big Ball Rasengan, a larger and more powerful version of his signature technique, though he still couldn't change the chakra nature or form of the basic Rasengan without assistance. Throughout the journey, Jiraiya continued his research on Akatsuki, gathering information about their members, their goals, and their methods. They learned that the organization was systematically targeting Jinchuriki to extract and seal the tailed beasts, and that Naruto would eventually become a primary target once they'd captured the others. This knowledge drove Naruto's training, knowing that he needed to become strong enough to rescue Gaara and the other Jinchuriki when Akatsuki came for them. The training concluded with Naruto returning to Konoha significantly stronger than when he left, though still technically a genin in rank. He reunited with his friends, most of whom had advanced to Chunin and reformed Team 7 with Kakashi and Sakura. The bell test they conducted demonstrated his growth, with Naruto and Sakura working together to threaten, revealing the ending of Kakashi's favorite novel, forcing him to close his eyes and cover his ears, allowing them to steal the bells. Shortly after his return, news arrived of Gaara's kidnapping by Akatsuki, launching the Kazekage rescue mission and the events of Shippuden. That was the original timeline, a necessary period of growth that prepared Naruto for the escalating conflicts ahead while allowing the supporting cast to develop off-screen. But in the timeline where Naruto learned the Forbidden Scrolls techniques, this training period becomes something fundamentally different in both focus and intensity. The divergence begins with what Naruto brings into the training period. In the original timeline, he left Konoha as a genin with shadow clones, basic taijutsu, and an incomplete Rasengan. In this timeline, he leaves as the Forbidden Prodigy, someone who already possesses theoretical knowledge of space-time ninjutsu, advanced sealing techniques, and chakra manipulation methods that most jonin don't understand. The training isn't about building a foundation, it's about perfecting an arsenal that already exists. Jiraiya's approach to the training is completely different from the original timeline. Instead of focusing on raw power increases and basic skill development, he designs a curriculum specifically around mastering and combining the forbidden techniques Naruto has learned. The Toad Sage recognizes that Naruto's greatest asset isn't his massive chakra reserves or even the Nine Tails. It's his ability to use techniques that create tactical advantages other ninja can't predict or counter. The goal is to transform Naruto from someone with dangerous knowledge into someone with dangerous mastery. The first year of training focuses on perfecting the Flying Thunder God technique. Jiraiya, while not a user himself, has extensive knowledge of space-time ninjutsu from his time with Minato. He guides Naruto through the mathematical principles underlying spatial displacement, the chakra flow patterns required for stable teleportation, and the marking systems that make long-range jumps possible. Progress is slow and painful. Early attempts leave Naruto disoriented, nauseous, and occasionally stuck partially between locations in ways that are terrifying for everyone involved. But gradually, through thousands of repetitions and countless failures, Naruto's mastery improves. His teleportation range extends from 20 meters to 50, then to 100, eventually reaching distances measured in kilometers when using pre-established markers. He learns to mark objects, people, and locations with such subtlety that even sensor-type ninja struggle to detect the seals. More importantly, he develops the ability to teleport while maintaining shadow clone coordination, creating combat strategies where his clones serve as teleportation anchors across a battlefield. The breakthrough comes during an encounter with a group of rogue ninja in the Land of Iron. Naruto creates a network of shadow clones spread across the area, marks each one with a Flying Thunder God seal, and proceeds to teleport between them at speeds that make him appear to be in multiple places simultaneously. The combination of shadow clone tactics with space-time displacement creates a fighting style that Jiraiya recognizes as surpassing even Minato's in certain aspects. Where the fourth Hokage relied on precision and economy of movement, Naruto's style is chaotic, overwhelming presence combined with unpredictable positioning. The second year shifts focus to sealing techniques and their applications. Naruto already learned theoretical sealing knowledge from the Forbidden Scroll, but applying it in combat situations requires different skills entirely. Jiraiya introduces him to the Toads of Mount Myoboku earlier than in the original timeline, recognizing that their sealing expertise can supplement his own teaching. The Toads are initially skeptical. This loud blonde kid wants to learn sealing techniques that typically require decades of study, but Naruto's existing knowledge from the scroll impresses even the elder Toads. Fukasaku begins teaching Naruto the preparation stages for Sage Mode, recognizing that his chakra control has reached levels where natural energy manipulation becomes possible. This happens years earlier than the original timeline because Naruto's foundation is so much stronger. He doesn't master Sage Mode completely during the time skip that will come later, but he learns the theory, begins the stillness training, and starts developing an awareness of natural energy that will pay dividends in future battles. The sealing training takes practical form through multiple objectives. Naruto learns to create barrier seals that can contain explosions, trap opponents, or block sensory techniques. He masters chakra disruption seals that interfere with jutsu activation, making them invaluable against technique-heavy opponents. Most significantly, he develops theoretical knowledge sufficient to contain tailed beast chakra, not seal an entire biju, which remains beyond his current capabilities, but disrupt and contain their chakra manifestations in combat situations. This theoretical knowledge is tested during an Akatsuki encounter in the Land of Rivers. Kisame and Itachi track them down, having received updated intelligence on Naruto's location. The battle that follows is brutal and showcases how far Naruto has come. When Kisame attempts to absorb Naruto's chakra with Samahata, Naruto uses sealing techniques to disrupt the absorption, creating feedback that damages the sword and forces Kisame to adjust his tactics. Against Itachi, Naruto's Flying Thunder God allows him to evade Genjutsu by teleporting before the technique can fully take effect, though Itachi's Sharingan still gives him advantages in predicting movements. The fight ends inconclusively. Jiraiya's intervention forces the Akatsuki pair to retreat rather than risk a prolonged battle, but both sides learn valuable information. Akatsuki realizes Naruto has become exponentially more dangerous than their intelligence suggested, necessitating multi-member capture attempts in the future. Naruto understands he can survive against S-rank opponents but still can't defeat them alone, reinforcing the need for continued growth. Throughout the training journey, Hiruzen occasionally sends Anbu operatives to assist with specific aspects of Naruto's development. These are specialists in various fields who can teach techniques that complement Naruto's forbidden jutsu. An Anbu sealing expert helps refine his barrier techniques. A space-time specialist provides additional insights into Flying Thunder God mechanics. These supplementary teachers accelerate Naruto's progress beyond what Jiraiya alone could achieve. The final 6 months of training focus on combination techniques and tactical integration. Naruto learns to use Flying Thunder God mid-jutsu, teleporting while forming a Rasengan to create attacks from impossible angles. He develops a technique where shadow clones each carry marked kunai. Throw them in different directions. Then Naruto teleports between them while attacking, creating the illusion of simultaneous strikes from multiple vectors. He masters the ability to use sealing techniques while in combat motion, no longer requiring stationary positioning to activate seals. The intelligence gathering aspect of their journey takes on different dimensions in this timeline. Because of Naruto's reputation as the forbidden prodigy, ninja from other villages sometimes approach them not to fight, but to observe or even request demonstrations of his techniques. Word has spread about the genin who saved the third Hokage, defeated a Jinchuriki in the Chunin exams, and demonstrated forbidden techniques that shouldn't be possible for someone his age. Naruto becomes something of a legend before he's even 16 years old. This reputation creates complications. Assassination attempts increase as villages and criminal organizations recognize Naruto as both a threat and an opportunity. Some want to eliminate him before he reaches his full potential. Others want to capture him for experimentation or to extract his knowledge. Jiraiya and Naruto spend significant time evading or defeating these attempts, each encounter serving as practical training that reinforces lessons learned. The physical transformation mirrors the original timeline. Naruto grows taller, his voice deepens, his features mature from childish roundness to young adult definition. But there's an additional change not present originally. His chakra becomes noticeably different to Sensor-type ninja. The combination of forbidden technique training, early Sage Mode preparation, and constant Nine-Tails exposure creates a chakra signature that's simultaneously familiar and alien. Some censors describe it as feeling like lightning wrapped in storm clouds, dangerous, unstable, powerful. Parallel to Naruto's training, Orochimaru is accelerating Sasuke's development with single-minded focus. Having learned about Naruto's growth through his spy network, the Snake Sannin designed Sasuke's curriculum specifically to counter forbidden techniques. Sasuke learns techniques that disrupt space-time manipulation, develops Sharingan abilities that can track teleportation paths, and masters curse mark transformations that boost his speed to levels where Flying Thunder God becomes less overwhelming. This creates an arms race between former teammates, each training to surpass the other. The training period also sees Naruto developing unique combinations that don't exist in standard ninja arsenals. He creates a variant of Shadow Clone technique where each clone maintains a different sealing jutsu, effectively turning himself into a mobile seal network. He learns to mark opponents with microscopic Flying Thunder God seals during taijutsu exchanges, setting up teleportation strikes they can't predict. He develops methods for using the Nine-Tails' chakra to enhance his forbidden techniques, rather than just relying on the Demon Fox's raw power. One particularly significant development comes when Naruto successfully combines Flying Thunder God with Rasengan in a manner that even Minato never achieved. where his father would teleport, then form a Rasengan, then attack. Naruto learns to teleport while already holding a formed Rasengan, appearing at his destination with the technique ready to strike. The timing and chakra control required are extraordinary, but by the end of training, he can execute this combination reliably in combat. When Naruto finally returns to Konoha after 2.5 years, he's transformed into a completely different category of threat. His chakra reserves have grown even more massive due to constant Ninetales exposure and Sage training preparation. His technique library rivals most Jonin, with the added advantage that many of his techniques are forbidden jutsu that opponents have never encountered. His combat experience includes surviving multiple Akatsuki encounters, defeating assassination teams from various villages, and training under conditions that would have killed most ninja. The reunion with his friends reveals how much everyone has changed. Sakura has trained under Tsunade and developed into a medical nin with monstrous strength. Most of the Konoha 11 have advanced to Chunin rank. Neji became a Jonin, Gaara became Kazekage. But Naruto's transformation is the most dramatic. He returns as someone who could legitimately be considered for Jonin rank, based purely on his capabilities, even though his official rank remains Genin due to never taking the Chunin exams. The Bell test with Kakashi and Sakura proceeds differently than the original timeline. Naruto and Sakura don't need to threaten spoiling the book. Ending Naruto simply uses Flying Thunder God to teleport behind Kakashi and take both bells before the Jonin can react, while Sakura serves as distraction. Kakashi is genuinely impressed and slightly disturbed by how quickly the test ends. The ease with which Naruto completes the exercise demonstrates just how far he's progressed beyond standard Genin capabilities. When news arrives of Gaara's capture by Akatsuki, Naruto's response reflects his growth. In the original timeline, he rushed off with desperate determination but limited capabilities. In this timeline, he approaches the mission as someone who knows he can actually make a difference. He's fought Akatsuki members before and survived. He has techniques specifically designed to counter their abilities. He's prepared for exactly this kind of high-stakes rescue operation. The training period's conclusion marks a fundamental shift in the story's power dynamics. Naruto is no longer an underdog who succeeds through determination and the Ninetales power. He's a legitimate elite-level threat who earned his capabilities through mastering some of the most dangerous techniques ever created. The Akatsuki recognize they can't send just 2 members to capture him. They'll need overwhelming force. Other villages adjust their strategic assessments, knowing that Konoha possesses a weapon that could potentially match entire squads of elite ninja. Sasuke's parallel growth under Orochimaru means their eventual confrontation will be between 2 fighters who've spent years specifically preparing to counter each other. The rivalry that began in the academy has evolved into something far more dangerous, a conflict between the Forbidden Prodigy and the curse-marked Avenger, each possessing abilities designed to neutralize the other's strengths. When they finally meet again, it won't be a one-sided battle or a simple contest of Chidori versus Rasengan. It will be a clash between 2 highly specialized killing machines, each trained by a legendary Sannin, each carrying techniques that push the boundaries of what ninja combat can be. The training period transforms Naruto from a promising genin with dangerous knowledge into the Forbidden Prodigy, a title that carries weight across the shinobi world. His return to Konoha introduces a force multiplier that changes how every faction assesses threats and opportunities. The question entering Shippuden isn't whether Naruto can save Gaara, it's whether anyone can stop Naruto once he decides someone needs saving. The boy who stole the Forbidden Scroll has become the man who mastered it, and the shinobi world will never be the same. Saga 6, Shippuden Opening, Kazekage Rescue. In the original timeline, Shippuden began with Naruto's return to Konoha after 2.5 years of training with Jiraiya. He arrived physically mature and more confident, reuniting with friends who had grown significantly. Most of the Konoha 11 had advanced to Chunin, Neji had become Jonin, and Gaara had ascended to 5th Kazekage of Sunagakure. Team 7 reformed with Kakashi, Naruto, and Sakura conducting a Bell test that proved they had developed the teamwork lacking years ago. Almost immediately, devastating news arrived from Sunagakure. Gaara had been kidnapped by Akatsuki members Deidara and Sasori, who infiltrated the Sand Village to extract Shukaku sealed within him. Despite Gaara's abilities as Kazekage, Deidara's explosive clay techniques proved overwhelming. When Deidara threatened to destroy the entire village, Gaara absorbed the blast, exhausting himself. The Akatsuki escaped with him. Kankuro attempted pursuit but was easily defeated by Sasori and poisoned with deadly toxins. The Akatsuki began the 3-day extraction ritual that would seal Shukaku and kill Gaara. Team Kakashi was immediately dispatched for rescue. Upon reaching Tsunagakure, Sakura successfully treated Kankuro's poison. Chiyo, Sasori's grandmother, insisted on joining the mission. Tsunade dispatched Team Guy as backup. The Akatsuki leader sent illusory copies of Itachi and Kisame to delay the Konoha forces, buying time for extraction. By the time Team Kakashi breached the hideout, they found Gaara's lifeless body. The extraction was complete. Gaara was dead. Shukaku sealed into the Geto statue. Naruto entered a rage-filled state, the Nine-Tails chakra leaking as he attacked Deidara. While Chiyo and Sakura engaged Sasori, Deidara fled with Gaara's body, forcing Naruto and Kakashi to pursue. Kakashi used his Mangekyo Sharingan ability, Kamui, to warp away Deidara's arm. Naruto retrieved Gaara's body. The battle with Sasori showcased the legendary puppeteer's power, including his third Kazekage puppet and Iron Sand techniques. Through coordinated effort, Chiyo and Sakura destroyed Sasori's puppet body. The teams returned to Tsunagakure with Gaara's body. Chiyo, moved by Naruto's grief, used her one's own life reincarnation jutsu to resurrect Gaara at the cost of her own life. Gaara awakened surrounded by his people and the Konoha ninja who had risked everything to save him. In the timeline where Naruto mastered the Forbidden Scrolls techniques, this mission transforms from a desperate race into a demonstration of overwhelming superiority. When Naruto walks through the village gates after 2.5 years, the change is immediately obvious to anyone with chakra sensitivity. His presence feels different, heavier, more dangerous. Sensor-type ninja experience, involuntary stress responses, scanning his chakra signature. The reunion with the Konoha 11 is subdued. When Naruto demonstrates the bell test with Kakashi and Sakura, he simply marks Kakashi's position with a microscopic flying thunder god seal during their initial handshake, creates a shadow clone as distraction, and teleports behind Kakashi to take both bells before the Jonin can react. The entire test lasts less than 30 seconds. Kakashi realizes with absolute certainty that his student has surpassed him in current measurable capabilities. The news of Gaara's capture arrives within hours, delivered by an exhausted sand messenger. Deidara and Sasori infiltrated Tsunagakure, defeated the 5th Kazekage, and escaped with him. The Akatsuki have a 3-day head start. Naruto demands to leave immediately. Tsunade authorizes Team Kakashi to deploy with Naruto taking point, and orders Team Guy to follow as backup. Team Kakashi mobilizes within the hour, but Naruto quickly becomes frustrated with the pace. Even at full sprint, it will take nearly 2 days to reach the Sand Village. When they stop briefly, Naruto makes a decision that showcases his evolution. He creates a shadow clone to continue with Kakashi and Sakura, then uses a kunai he marked months ago and left with Temari to teleport directly to Tsunagakure. The distance, hundreds of kilometers, is covered in an instant. The chakra cost is massive, leaving Naruto temporarily exhausted, but he's in the Sand Village while his team is still hours away. The Sand Ninja are shocked when the Forbidden Prodigy appears without passing through checkpoints. Temari leads Naruto to where Kankuro is being treated. Naruto uses sealing techniques from the Forbidden Scroll to slow the poison spread through Kankuro's chakra network, buying precious time. With Chiyo volunteering to guide them, Naruto uses Sasori's clothing to perform tracking that combines chakra sensing with spatial awareness. He senses distance, elevation, and approximate location with precision that shouldn't be possible. Naruto doesn't wait. He creates multiple shadow clones in a grid pattern between Tsunagakure and the Akatsuki location, and begins teleporting between them in rapid sequence. Each clone serves as a waypoint. What should be hours of travel becomes minutes of reality-bending displacement. By the time teams Kakashi and Guy reach Tsunagakure through normal means, Naruto has already located the hideout and is preparing to breach it. The Akatsuki members inside are mid-ritual when Naruto arrives. They expected a rescue attempt eventually, but not this quickly, and not from a single infiltrator. Naruto examines the barrier using his sealing knowledge, identifies the 5 focal points, maintaining its structure, and creates shadow clones to attack all 5 simultaneously. The barrier shatters in under 3 minutes. Deidara mounts his clay bird and gains altitude to rain explosives down on Naruto. Against someone with Flying Thunder God mastery, it's a fatal mistake. Naruto marks the clay bird during its ascent, waits for Deidara to begin his bombing run, then teleports directly onto the bird behind him. A Rasengan slams into Deidara's back, destroying the clay bird and sending both plummeting. Naruto recovers first, using teleportation to avoid impact, while Deidara crashes with bone-breaking force. Shadow clones swarm him, placing Flying Thunder God markers on his remaining clay sculptures. When Deidara attempts to detonate his creations, Naruto teleports the explosive clay into empty desert. Deidara, pinned beneath clones and marked with seals he can't remove, realizes his entire combat strategy has been completely countered. Naruto presses a sealing tag to Deidara's chest that suppresses his chakra network entirely. The Akatsuki member collapses. Naruto binds him with chakra-suppressing restraints. Deidara is captured alive, the first Akatsuki member ever taken into custody by Konoha forces. The entire fight lasted less than 5 minutes. Sasori emerges, having monitored the battle. He abandons Hiruko immediately and reveals his true form, summoning the third Kazekage puppet with its iron sand manipulation. Naruto responds by creating a protective formation of shadow clones using wind release to disrupt the iron sand's cohesion. When Sasori forms iron sand into solid spears, Naruto marks them with seals and teleports them back at Sasori with devastating accuracy. Sasori deploys his red secret technique, performance of 100 puppets. Naruto creates 200 shadow clones. What follows is systematic dismantling. Each clone engages multiple puppets, shattering wooden limbs and severing control strings. Naruto teleports through the puppet swarm, appearing behind Sasori to force him defensive. When Sasori converts himself into a human missile launching toward the hideout entrance, Naruto marks his trajectory with seals, teleports ahead, and catches the puppet master in a containment seal that freezes him mid-motion. Naruto rushes into the hideout. Inside, the Akatsuki are in the final stages of extraction. Gaara's body lies on the ground, the seal glowing as Shukaku's chakra is torn away. The process is perhaps 80% complete minutes from killing the Kazekage. Naruto doesn't hesitate. He creates shadow clones that attack the Gedo statue's connection points while he focuses on Gaara. Using sealing techniques that would make even Kushina Uzumaki proud, he interferes with the extraction seal, creating dissonance that causes the ritual to destabilize. The Akatsuki leader's astral projection turns toward Naruto with shock. The extraction process begins collapsing. Shukaku's chakra starts flowing back into its container as the ritual fails. The leader aborts, rather than risk damage to the Gedo statue. The projections disappear, and Gaara's body convulses as the One-Tail's chakra reintegrates chaotically. Naruto acts immediately, using sealing knowledge to stabilize the reintegration. He can't fully repair the seal, but he prevents the catastrophic chakra backlash. Gaara's breathing stabilizes. He's alive. The extraction was interrupted, with perhaps 10 to 15% of Shukaku's chakra permanently removed, but the core remains sealed. Teams Kakashi and Guy reach the hideout as Naruto emerges carrying Gaara's unconscious form. Behind him, shadow clones drag the sealed Sasori and bound Deidara. Kakashi stares at the scene, 2 Akatsuki members captured, the Kazekage alive, and Naruto looking tired but uninjured. The entire rescue operation has taken less than 2 hours. Chiyo examines Gaara and confirms the seal is damaged but functional. The extraction interrupted before fatal completion. With proper treatment, Gaara will survive without permanent damage. Her expression studying Naruto's emergency sealing work is complicated respect, curiosity, and perhaps fear at what this young man represents. The return to Sunagakure is triumphant rather than tragic. Gaara regains consciousness during the journey, weak but alive. When he sees Naruto, understanding dawns. The promise made during the Chunin exams that bonds are stronger than the beasts within them has been validated. Naruto saved him by literally interrupting the extraction using sealing techniques most ninja don't even know exist. The immediate aftermath sends shockwaves through multiple organizations. Sunagakure celebrates their Kazekage's survival and strengthens their alliance with Konoha. Chiyo, who would have died in the original timeline, instead focuses on repairing Gaara's seal and studying Naruto's emergency work. She offers to take Naruto as a student in puppetry and sealing arts. The captured Akatsuki members represent an intelligence windfall. Sasori undergoes interrogation, revealing details about Akatsuki's organizational structure, their plans for remaining tailed beasts, and critically, information about the spy within Orochimaru's organization. More importantly, Sasori reveals the location of one of Orochimaru's bases where Kabuto operates, providing a direct lead to finding Sasuke. Deidara provides intelligence about Akatsuki's combat capabilities, hideout locations, and member roster. Within Akatsuki, Pain recognizes that Naruto represents a threat beyond what intelligence suggested. He convenes an emergency meeting and makes a crucial decision. Naruto's capture is now the highest priority, but requires multiple S-rank members working in coordination. Naruto must be treated as a Kage-level threat. For Naruto personally, the mission validates everything Jiraiya taught him. He didn't succeed through raw power, he succeeded through mastery of forbidden techniques, tactical application of space-time ninjutsu, and understanding of sealing principles that allowed him to disrupt an extraction ritual no one else could have interfered with. The title Forbidden Prodigy stops being just reputation and becomes acknowledged fact. As they return to Konoha, Naruto carries knowledge that he's demonstrated capabilities, marking him as one of the shinobi world's elite. He saved a Kage, captured 2 S-rank criminals, disrupted an Akatsuki operation, and did it all in less time than most teams took to reach the battlefield. The Kazekage rescue mission was a statement that the Forbidden Prodigy has arrived as a force that can reshape conflicts through sheer capability. The question now isn't whether Naruto can handle Akatsuki or protect his friends. The question is, what happens when someone with his power makes decisions about who deserves saving and who deserves punishment, and whether the shinobi world is ready for someone who can enforce those decisions through overwhelming mastery of techniques that were forbidden for very good reasons. If you're enjoying our content so far, subscribe to our channel. Saga 7: Sasuke Reunion and Orochimaru's Defeat. In the original timeline, the search for Sasuke gained momentum after the Kazekage rescue mission when Sasori, in his dying moments, revealed he had a spy embedded in Orochimaru's organization scheduled to meet at Tenchi Bridge in 10 days. This intelligence represented the first concrete lead on Sasuke's location since his defection, and Tsunade immediately authorized a mission to make contact. Team Kakashi was reformed with Sai, a root operative assigned to replace Sasuke, whose emotionless demeanor created immediate friction with Naruto and Sakura. Yamato, a wood release user and former Anbu captain, led the team specifically because his abilities could suppress the Nine Tails chakra if Naruto lost control. At Tenchi Bridge, they encountered Kabuto, who revealed himself as Sasori's spy, before exposing the meeting as a trap he'd betrayed Sasori's network and remained loyal to Orochimaru. When Orochimaru appeared with overwhelming power, the situation escalated dramatically as Sasuke arrived. The reunion was cold and hostile, with Sasuke demonstrating massive growth and attempting to kill Naruto with a Chidori aimed at his heart. Only Sakura's intervention and Yamato's assistance prevented a fatal outcome. Enraged, Naruto tapped into the Nine Tails chakra, entering his three-tailed transformation and matching Orochimaru's techniques through sheer destructive power before Yamato suppressed the transformation. Orochimaru departed with Sasuke and Kabuto, and the mission failed to retrieve Sasuke, while confirming he was still training for his confrontation with Itachi. In the timeline where Naruto mastered the Forbidden Scrolls techniques and captured Sasori alive, this arc transforms from a brief encounter into a full-scale assault ending with Orochimaru's defeat. The divergence begins with intelligence extraction from the captured Sasori. Through intensive interrogation by Ibiki Morino, Inoichi Yamanaka, and Naruto's sealing-based truth compulsion techniques, Sasori reveals far more than just the spy's meeting location. He provides detailed intelligence about Orochimaru's hideout network, security measures, and critically, Sasuke's current training location. Most importantly, Sasori reveals Orochimaru is planning a body transfer soon. His current body is failing faster than anticipated due to wounds from fighting the third Hokage that never fully healed. This intelligence changes everything. Instead of a reconnaissance mission, Konoha can launch a coordinated assault on a known location where both Orochimaru and Sasuke are present. Tsunade and Hiruzen convene a council and authorize overwhelming force to recover Sasuke and eliminate Orochimaru's threat. The coalition assembled is unprecedented. Team Kakashi with Naruto, Sakura, Kakashi, Yamato, and Sai. Team Guy providing heavy combat support, plus additional Anbu specialists for barrier breaking, medical support, and trap detection. It's a strike force capable of assaulting a minor village, directed at a single hideout in the Land of Rivers. Hiruzen personally briefs the teams before departure, authorizing lethal force against Orochimaru if capture proves impossible. But Sasuke must be recovered alive if feasible. He specifically tells Naruto that while he's authorized to use whatever forbidden techniques necessary, he shouldn't forget that Sasuke was his teammate. The journey takes 2 days through back routes to avoid detection. Intelligence confirms the base is hidden within a mountain complex, protected by barrier seals and guarded by remaining sound ninja. The assault begins at dawn with devastating efficiency. Team Guy strikes perimeter guards with overwhelming speed. Neji identifies and disables security seals, while Yamato and Sai breach the entrance barriers. Anbu teams flow into the upper levels, securing corridors and eliminating resistance. Within 20 minutes, the coalition controls the hideout's outer sections. Team Kakashi penetrates deeper until they encounter Kabuto at a junction between levels. His expression suggests internal conflict rather than surprise. When asked where Sasuke is, Kabuto reveals he's 3 levels down in a training chamber, and that Sasuke has spent 2 years preparing specifically to counter Naruto's techniques, the Flying Thunder God, Sealing Jutsu, even Shadow Clones. Kabuto states he can't let them pass because Sasuke asked him to delay pursuers. The battle that erupts is brief but intense. Kabuto releases experimental subjects from containment, but Yamato's wood release restrains them. Sai seals containment areas, and Sakura systematically dismantles Kabuto's combat style through superior speed and power. Sakura lands a devastating chakra-enhanced punch that sends Kabuto crashing through a wall, and Yamato binds him with wood release. Pinned and unable to move, Kabuto reveals that Sasuke is in the Eastern Corridor's reinforced training chamber, and that Orochimaru is with him because the body transfer is happening tonight. The training chamber is massive, a cavern carved into the mountain with reinforced walls and scattered evidence of devastating jutsu practice. Scorch marks from lightning, impact craters from curse mark strikes, and destroyed training dummies fill the space. In the center stand Naruto and Sasuke, facing each other like opposing philosophies given form. Sasuke has changed dramatically, taller, more refined, moving with confidence born from extreme training. His curse mark is dormant but visible, and his 3 Tomoe Sharingan is already active. He acknowledges Naruto's arrival, questioning whether Naruto truly mastered those techniques or just memorized hand signs. Naruto keeps his voice steady, stating he came to bring Sasuke home because the path of revenge under Orochimaru is destroying him. Sasuke laughs without humor, claiming he's stronger than ever and has spent 2 years studying Naruto's techniques, learning their weaknesses. Naruto challenges him to prove it fight. And if Sasuke wins, Naruto lets him go. If Naruto wins, Sasuke returns to Konoha. The battle begins with Sasuke moving first, his speed enhanced by curse mark activation. He forms Chidori Stream, spreading electricity across the ground and air in a net filling the chamber. Naruto uses Flying Thunder God to teleport to marked kunai, but Sasuke's Sharingan tracked the throws and he intercepts with Kusanagi's sword. The battle demonstrates how far both have evolved. Sasuke reveals techniques specifically designed to counter Naruto's advantages. Fire Release enhanced with Curse Mark Chakra targets each shadow clone individually. Lightning Strikes disrupt sealing techniques before they form, and Lightning Release Shadow Tracking creates microscopic chakra threads that predict teleportation targets. Naruto adapts by creating layered shadow clones that mark each other with seals, teleporting between clones mid-combat for unpredictable patterns. He combines Wind Release with Sealing Knowledge to create chakra-disrupting blasts. The chamber is destroyed, walls crack, floors split, air saturated with hostile chakra. Sasuke activates Curse Mark Second Stage, Black Wings extending as his appearance becomes demonic. His speed and power increase dramatically. Naruto creates a shadow clone network throughout the chamber, marks each with Flying Thunder God seals, then channels Wind Release through all simultaneously, while teleporting between them at speeds making him appear in multiple locations at once. The cyclone of wind-enhanced strikes delivered from impossible angles overwhelms Sasuke's tracking ability. Despite Curse Mark durability, the cumulative damage wears him down. Then Orochimaru intervenes. The snake Sannin emerges from a hidden doorway. His appearance, shocking skin grayish pale, movement stiff, visible tremor in his hands. The third Hokage's wounds have degraded his body to where transfer can't wait longer. He orders Sasuke to rest while he deals with the guests, calling it a final lesson. Sasuke steps back but doesn't fully disengage, recognizing an opportunity to strike while Orochimaru is distracted. The battle between Naruto and Orochimaru differs from previous encounters. When Orochimaru summons giant snakes, Naruto uses sealing techniques to bind them rather than fighting directly. When Orochimaru extends his neck to bite, Flying Thunder God allows teleportation while marking Orochimaru for follow-up attacks. The critical moment comes when Orochimaru, frustrated by counters, attempts living corpse reincarnation not on Sasuke, but on Naruto. The technique creates a pocket dimension where Orochimaru's soul assaults the target's consciousness for body takeover. As Orochimaru's soul attempts entry, Naruto responds with unexpected countermeasures. He uses sealing techniques to create a barrier around his own soul, then employs principles from the Reaper Death Seal, not the full technique, which would kill him, but fragments of its soul manipulation effects to grab Orochimaru's invading consciousness. The pocket dimension becomes a metaphysical battlefield. Orochimaru's experience and knowledge are vast, but Naruto has the 9 tails providing massive chakra reserves supporting the soul barrier, plus sealing techniques Orochimaru never fully mastered. The struggle is brief but decisive. Naruto's barrier holds, and his counter-sealing techniques begin trapping portions of Orochimaru's consciousness. Orochimaru desperately withdraws, but at catastrophic cost. Roughly 30% of his soul is sealed by Naruto, trapped in a construct resembling the Reaper's stomach. The damage is permanent and irreversible. They snap back to physical reality. Orochimaru staggers, his degraded body failing further as soul damage manifests physically. Blood runs from his mouth, nose, and eyes. Naruto informs Orochimaru that it's over, he can't transfer bodies anymore because the sealing damaged his soul too badly. Orochimaru collapses to his knees, his face twisted in rage and disbelief. He acknowledges that Naruto actually mastered the Scroll of Seals before collapsing completely. Sasuke stands frozen in shock. He spent years training to defeat Orochimaru himself, planned to turn the body transfer against his teacher. Naruto accomplished it in minutes, using techniques Sasuke never fully understood. Kakashi and Sakura rush in with Yamato and Anbu support to secure Orochimaru's collapsed form. Naruto turns to Sasuke, with exhaustion evident but determination blazing, stating it's time to come home. Sasuke's hands clench into fists, Sharingan spinning wildly. He refuses, stating he won't return as the person who needed Naruto to defeat his teacher because he wasn't strong enough. Kabuto appears, having escaped Yamato's bindings, stating they need to leave now. He has Orochimaru's research data backed up. With that knowledge, they can continue his work and develop Sasuke's abilities further. Sasuke apologizes to Naruto with genuine regret beneath determination, stating he's not coming back, not yet, maybe not ever. He needs to do this his own way. Before anyone can stop them, Kabuto activates a prepared escape seal. The air distorts around Sasuke and Kabuto, and they vanish in a chakra flash. Naruto lunges forward trying to grab Sasuke, but his hand closes on empty air. The return to Konoha is bittersweet. The mission accomplished several critical objectives. Orochimaru defeated and captured with soul permanently damaged. His hideout secured, providing invaluable intelligence. But Sasuke is still gone, now operating independently with Kabuto as supporter and all of Orochimaru's research at his disposal. In some ways, this might be more dangerous because Sasuke is no longer constrained by Orochimaru's plans. Hiruzen visits Orochimaru in his cell for a private confrontation heavy with history. He acknowledges he should have stopped Orochimaru years ago before he went too far. Orochimaru manages a bitter smile, stating he finds it fitting that he was defeated by someone wielding techniques he spent so long trying to understand. Hiruzen responds that Naruto earned that knowledge through determination and sacrifice, something Orochimaru never understood. The long-term repercussions extend far beyond Sasuke's continued absence. With Orochimaru neutralized, Akatsuki loses a potential rival and complication. Pain accelerates the organization's timeline. Itachi, learning Sasuke is no longer under Orochimaru's influence, begins considering whether it's time to enact final parts of his plan regarding his brother. Sasuke's path has diverged significantly. Instead of absorbing Orochimaru, he operates independently with Kabuto's support and Orochimaru's research knowledge, making him more dangerous in some ways. Orochimaru's defeat by Naruto becomes international news almost immediately. Villages that were on the fence about Naruto's reputation now have concrete proof. The political landscape shifts as everyone reassesses Konoha's strategic position. For Naruto personally, the mission represents both triumph and failure. He proved he could defeat a Sannin, but he also failed to bring Sasuke home, and now must live with knowledge that when they fight again, it will be as enemies who have specifically trained to kill each other. The stage is now set for the next phase. Orochimaru is neutralized, but Sasuke remains at large, now free to pursue Itachi without constraints. Akatsuki is accelerating plans, recognizing they need to capture remaining tailed beasts before Konoha becomes stronger. And Naruto must continue growing, preparing for battles ahead. Battles testing conviction that bonds matter more than revenge, and that some people can be saved even when they don't want salvation. Saga 8: Jiraiya's Investigation and Pain Assault. In the original timeline, the investigation into Pain's identity and the subsequent assault on Konoha represented one of the darkest periods in the village's history. Jiraiya, having gathered intelligence about the organization's leader residing in Amegakure, made the fateful decision to infiltrate the Rain Village personally to discover Pain's true identity and capabilities. Upon entering Amegakure, Jiraiya was detected almost immediately by Pain's rain sensing technique. He gathered intelligence from villagers about their mysterious leader, who had defeated Hanzo. After capturing Rain Ninja for interrogation, Conan found and attacked him. When Pain arrived, they discussed his ideology using tailed beasts as deterrent weapons to force peace through fear of overwhelming destruction. The battle revealed that Pain consisted of 6 bodies with shared vision through their Rinnegan eyes. Using Sage Mode and strategy, Jiraiya managed to trap 3 paths in Genjutsu, but another attacked from behind, severing his arm. Confronted by all 6 paths simultaneously, Jiraiya discovered each body belonged to ninja he once knew, including his former student, Yahiko. The Asura path crushed his throat before he could relay findings. Stabbed by all 6 paths and dying, Jiraiya used pure willpower to write a coded message on Fukasaku's back before accepting death. Pain's assault on Konoha was devastating and methodical. The 6 paths divided into groups, interrogating villagers about Naruto's location through mind reading or threats. Tsunade summoned Katsuyu to heal injured villagers, but Danzo killed the messenger toad, preventing Naruto's return. Kakashi discovered the 5-second interval between uses of Shinra Tensei but was killed when the Deva Path overwhelmed him. When the Deva Path confronted Tsunade, he unleashed a massive Shinra Tensei that destroyed most of Konoha, creating a crater where a thriving village had stood. Naruto arrived using Sage Mode and Wind Release, Rasen Shuriken, systematically defeating the paths. When Hinata intervened and was struck down, Naruto lost control, entering his 6-tailed transformation. Minato's chakra imprint appeared and revealed himself as Naruto's father, repairing the seal and encouraging him. Naruto defeated the last path and tracked Nagato to his hidden location. After hearing Nagato's story of pain creating more pain, Naruto stated he would believe in what Jiraiya believed in and wouldn't kill Nagato. Moved by Naruto's conviction, Nagato used Rinne Rebirth to revive everyone who died in the assault at the cost of his own life. Naruto returned to a village that greeted him as a hero. In the timeline where Naruto mastered the Forbidden Scrolls techniques, this arc transforms from a story of survival against overwhelming odds into a demonstration of how preparation and power can prevent catastrophe. The divergence begins with Jiraiya's infiltration mission. Before departing for Amegakure, Jiraiya meets with Naruto and Hiruzen to discuss mission parameters. Naruto proposes marking Jiraiya with a flying thunder god seal microscopic and incorporated into his clothing, designed to activate if Jiraiya's chakra drops below critical levels, or if he consciously triggers it, allowing Naruto to teleport directly to his location regardless of distance. Additionally, Hiruzen provides Jiraiya with sealing techniques derived from Naruto's Forbidden Scroll knowledge methods to disrupt shared vision systems and interfere with remotely controlled constructs. The infiltration proceeds similarly at first, with Jiraiya gathering intelligence and engaging Conan before Pain arrives. The battle commences with Pain summoning creatures while Jiraiya enters Sage mode, discovering the shared vision mechanic. Armed with knowledge about disrupting shared vision systems, Jiraiya uses specialized sealing techniques to interfere with the chakra receivers connecting the paths to Nagato. When additional paths attack, Jiraiya manages to evade critical strikes through better preparation. However, the arrival of all 6 paths puts him in dire straits. As they coordinate their assault and inflict critical injuries, Jiraiya triggers the emergency activation on his Flying Thunder God seal. In Konoha, Naruto is in a council meeting when he suddenly senses the seal's activation. He doesn't hesitate, placing his hand on the marked formula prepared for long-range teleportation and vanishing. Naruto materializes in Omegakure just as the 6 paths prepare to finish Jiraiya. His arrival creates a shockwave that forces the paths to disengage. The battle that follows demonstrates Naruto's systematic approach. He creates hundreds of shadow clones throughout the area, each one a potential teleportation point. He moves between them using Flying Thunder God, attacking from impossible angles while defending Jiraiya. The Animal Path's summons are bound with sealing techniques, the Asura Path's missiles are teleported back at the sender, and the Preta Path is flooded with Senjutsu-enhanced chakra that disrupts its absorption ability. When the Deva Path uses Shinra Tensei, Naruto teleports Jiraiya away using Flying Thunder God enhanced by Shadow Clone networks. The massive gravitational burst devastates the area where they stood moments before. Naruto immediately counterattacks during the 5-second window, forcing Pain to retreat. Pain recognizes he cannot capture or kill both Jiraiya and Naruto in his current state, and withdraws his 6 paths using reverse summoning. Naruto teleports them back to Konoha, where medical staff treat Jiraiya's critical injuries. Jiraiya survives, returning with detailed intelligence about Pain's nature, the 6 paths mechanic, the shared vision system, the Rinnegan's abilities, and critically, that Nagato controls the bodies remotely. This intelligence allows Konoha to prepare comprehensive countermeasures. Hiruzen convenes an emergency council to plan defenses. With both the 3rd and 5th Hokage active, plus detailed intelligence, Konoha establishes emergency evacuation protocols, positions medical stations, and prepares sealing formations designed to interfere with remotely controlled bodies. Naruto is positioned as rapid response, with Flying Thunder God allowing him to reach any point in the village within seconds. Pain's assault, when it comes, involves all 6 paths attacking simultaneously at different entry points, with Konan providing aerial support. But Konoha is ready. Sealing teams activate barriers that disrupt the summoning technique. Counter-sealing formations redirect explosions away from civilian districts. Villagers have been evacuated from likely attack zones. Naruto becomes the pivotal force in the defense. Using Flying Thunder God, he materializes at attack sites across the village, deploying shadow clones that function independently. He systematically defeats each path using knowledge unavailable in the original timeline, sealing the Animal Path's summoning ability, destroying the Asura Path's weapon systems, trapping the Human Path's consciousness reading ability. The confrontation with the Deva Path is most emotionally charged. Naruto recognizes Yahiko's body from Jiraiya's descriptions. The Deva Path uses Shinra Tensei repeatedly, but Flying Thunder God allows Naruto to teleport through the gravity waves. In a pivotal moment, Naruto prepares to use the Reaper Death Seal as a threat. The spectral form of the Shinigami begins to manifest. Pain recognizes the technique and realizes Naruto possesses soul manipulation techniques that could permanently destroy the 6 paths and potentially affect Nagato himself. Rather than allow the technique to complete, Pain withdraws and proposes direct negotiation, providing coordinates to his location. Naruto accepts. Teleporting to the coordinates, he arrives at Nagato and Konan's hidden location, a mechanical tree on a mountain overlooking Konoha. Nagato's condition is shocking, emaciated, impaled by chakra receivers, clearly dying from controlling the 6 paths. The conversation covers similar philosophical ground, Pain's ideology, Jiraiya's teachings, the cycle of hatred, but with critical differences. Naruto offers an alternative based on techniques from the Forbidden Scroll. He explains that he possesses sealing techniques capable of literally sealing away pain and hatred as actual chakra-based emotional constructs. He demonstrates this by showing Konan a technique that can temporarily suppress traumatic memories. Nagato is skeptical but intrigued. Naruto is offering practical solutions. More importantly, Naruto offers an understanding of the Rinnegan's capabilities from a sealing perspective, explaining that the Rinnegan's techniques are all variations of advanced sealing principles. This academic approach resonates with Nagato in ways the original emotional appeal couldn't. Nagato makes his decision. He will use Rinne Rebirth to revive those killed in the assault, demonstrating his belief in Naruto's path. But unlike the original timeline, Naruto intervenes in the technique itself. Using his sealing knowledge, he supplements Nagato's chakra with his own massive reserves, providing the life energy needed without Nagato dying in the process. The technique is agonizing for both, but Naruto's Nine-Tails chakra provides the additional energy needed. When the technique completes, souls flow back into bodies across Konoha. Nagato survives, barely. His body more damaged, but his consciousness intact. He offers knowledge of the Rinnegan's techniques, not the eyes themselves, but the principles underlying them. Konan, seeing this exchange, understands that something unprecedented has occurred. She pledges that she and Nagato will serve as Naruto's allies. When Naruto returns to Konoha carrying the unconscious Nagato with Konan flying alongside, the village's reaction is complex. They see their savior returning with former enemies, and only Naruto's reputation and Hiruzen's endorsement prevent immediate violence. The village has suffered damage, but the devastation is a fraction of the original timeline's near-total destruction. The aftermath sees Naruto elevated to legendary status as the ninja who not only defeated Pain, but convinced him to change sides. Hiruzen publicly proposes that Naruto should be considered for eventual Hokage succession, not immediately, but as the heir apparent. This proposal carries enormous weight. For Akatsuki, Pain's conversion represents a catastrophic setback. Obito is forced to reveal himself more directly and accelerate plans that weren't ready. Internationally, news spreads quickly. Konoha repelled a major Akatsuki assault with minimal casualties, and Naruto was instrumental in both the defense and the conversion of Pain. Villages reassess their strategic positions. Sasuke, receiving news through intelligence networks, intensifies his training. Knowing their eventual confrontation will determine who represents the correct path forward. Nagato's survival and alliance means the Rinnegan remains in play for future conflicts. Rather than the eyes being sealed away, they remain with their original wielder, who now uses them in service of Naruto's vision. The most profound impact is philosophical. Naruto has demonstrated that the cycle of hatred can be broken through offering practical alternatives backed by overwhelming power. As Konoha rebuilds, Naruto stands at the center of a transformed political landscape. He's no longer just the Nine-Tails' Jinchuriki or the Forbidden Prodigy. He's the ninja who saved Jiraiya, defeated and converted Pain, prevented Konoha's destruction, and demonstrated a path forward that doesn't require choosing between idealistic pacifism and pragmatic violence. The Pain Assault arc, which represented Konoha's darkest hour in the original timeline, instead becomes the moment when Naruto's vision demonstrates its viability, laying foundations for a future where power and principle can coexist, where forbidden knowledge can be used for healing rather than destruction, and where the cycle of hatred might finally be broken through transformation rather than elimination. And remember to subscribe to our channel if you want to know what happens during the 5 Kage Summit. Saga 9, 5 Kage Summit and Sasuke's Descent. In the original timeline, the aftermath of Pain's assault on Konoha led to significant political upheaval. With Tsunade in a coma from overusing her chakra to protect villagers during the attack, the village leadership position remained vacant at a critical moment. Danzo Shimura, leader of Root and longtime political rival to Tsunade, seized the opportunity to manipulate the Fire Daimyo into naming him temporary 6th Hokage. His first act was to label Sasuke Uchiha a missing nin and order his assassination, citing his alliance with Akatsuki and the international incident caused by Taka's attempted abduction of Killer Bee. The Raikage, furious about his brother's apparent capture, called for a 5 Kage summit in the Land of Iron to discuss how to handle the growing Akatsuki threat. Gaara attended as 5th Kazekage of Tsunagakure, Onoki as 3rd Tsuchikage of Iwagakure, and Mei Terumi as 5th Mizukage of Kirigakure. Danzo represented Konoha, his Sharingan-implanted arm hidden beneath bandages, with Fu Yamanaka and Torune as his bodyguards. Meanwhile, Naruto struggled with the revelation from Obito about Itachi's true sacrifice, that he had been ordered by Konoha's leadership to massacre the Uchiha clan to prevent a coup, and that he lived as a criminal to protect both his village and his brother. When Team Samui from Kumogakure arrived seeking information about Sasuke, Karui demanded to beat Naruto as retribution for Killer Bee's apparent death. Naruto allowed himself to be brutally beaten rather than betray Sasuke, demonstrating loyalty that both impressed and frustrated the Cloud Ninja. Naruto, Kakashi, and Yamato followed Team Samui to the Land of Iron, where Naruto desperately pleaded with the Raikage to spare Sasuke's life. The Raikage refused, scolding Naruto for being weak and defending a criminal who had attacked his brother. The rejection devastated Naruto, who began questioning whether his promise to bring Sasuke home was even possible anymore. At the summit itself, tensions ran high as the Kage argued about responsibility for Akatsuki's rise. The Raikage accused each Kage of contributing to the problem, the 4th Kazekage potentially using Akatsuki during the Konoha Crush, the Tsuchikage hiring them to avoid risking his own ninja, and the 4th Mizukage being manipulated by Akatsuki. When Danzo mentioned that Akatsuki's leader was likely Madara Uchiha, Mifune proposed a united alliance with Danzo as leader. Ao, using his Byakugan, discovered that Danzo was manipulating Mifune's decision using Shisui Uchiha's Sharingan implanted in his right eye socket. Before this revelation could fully develop, White Zetsu crashed through the ceiling, announcing that Sasuke Uchiha was nearby, having infiltrated the summit location. Sasuke's attack was motivated by revenge against Danzo, whom Obito had revealed as one of the architects of the Uchiha massacre. Taka Sasuke, Suigetsu, Jugo, and Karin fought through the samurai guards, with Sasuke using his newly awakened Mangekyo Sharingan to devastating effect. The Raikage engaged Sasuke first, his lightning-based techniques and immense physical power nearly overwhelming the young Uchiha. Only by manifesting Susanoo wrapped in Amaterasu flames did Sasuke survive, though the Raikage broke through his defense at the cost of his own arm. Gaara intervened, attempting to reason with Sasuke about abandoning his path of darkness, but Sasuke rejected all appeals. He used Susanoo to defend against simultaneous attacks from multiple Kage and their bodyguards, then abandoned his teammates to pursue Danzo alone. The Mizukage sealed his escape route with lava release, and he would have been killed by Onoki's dust release had Obito not teleported him away. Obito then addressed the assembled Kage, revealing the legend of the 10 Tails and the Sage of 6 Paths. He explained his Eye of the Moon plan to capture all tailed beasts, reconstitute the 10 Tails, seal it within himself, and cast an infinite Tsukuyomi on the world. He demanded the Kage surrender Killer Bee and Naruto, the last 2 uncaptured Jinchuriki, or face war. When they refused, he declared the 4th Shinobi World War and departed. The Kage agreed to form an unprecedented alliance, the allied shinobi forces, with the Raikage as supreme commander. They decided to hide the 2 remaining Jinchuriki from the front lines, considering them too unpredictable and valuable to risk. Meanwhile, Sasuke tracked down and fought Danzo in a brutal confrontation where Danzo's arm implanted with 10 Sharingan eyes and wood-release cells allowed him to use Izanagi to survive fatal attacks by rewriting reality for 60 seconds per eye. Sasuke eventually overcame Danzo by understanding Izanagi's time limit and tricking him into believing he had more eyes remaining than he actually did. When Danzo attempted to take Karin hostage, Sasuke coldly stabbed through her to pierce Danzo's heart, demonstrating how far into darkness he had fallen. Danzo's dying act was attempting to seal both Sasuke and Obito into his body while destroying Shisui's eye to prevent it from being stolen. The arc concluded with Sakura arriving to find Sasuke, claiming she would defect to follow him. Sasuke tested her loyalty by ordering her to kill Karin as proof, but her hesitation revealed her deception. He attempted to kill her, only to be stopped by Kakashi's timely arrival. The confrontation between teacher and student represented the complete breakdown of Team 7's bonds, with Sasuke fully committed to his path of revenge. That was the original timeline, a political crisis where leadership vacuum and international tensions nearly sparked war, while Sasuke's descent into darkness accelerated to the point where he would kill anyone, including former comrades, to achieve his revenge. But in the timeline where Naruto mastered the Forbidden Scrolls techniques and became a legendary figure by saving Jiraiya and defeating Pain, this arc transforms from a crisis of weakness into a demonstration of strength. The divergence begins with the fundamental political reality that Hiruzen Sarutobi remains Hokage. There is no succession crisis, no power vacuum for Danzo to exploit. However, Danzo's actions during Pain's assault killing the messenger toad to prevent Naruto's return have been exposed through investigation. Hiruzen, finally having concrete evidence of Danzo's treasonous activities, has confined him and disbanded Root. Danzo remains alive but under house arrest, his political power broken, his dream of becoming Hokage permanently shattered. When the Raikage calls for a 5-Kage summit to discuss the Akatsuki threat following Pain's assault on Konoha, the context is completely different. The summit is about Konoha's unprecedented victory and what it means for the balance of power. Naruto defeated Pain, converted Nagato, saved Jiraiya, and prevented Konoha's destruction. These accomplishments have made him internationally famous, with the title Forbidden Prodigy carrying weight across all 5 great nations. Hiruzen decides that Naruto will accompany him to the summit as Konoha's representative, demonstrating the village's confidence in its rising star and providing other Kage an opportunity to assess Naruto directly. This decision is controversial within Konoha. Some advisors worry about exposing Naruto to potential assassination attempts, while others argue that hiding their greatest asset sends a message of weakness rather than strength. The journey to the Land of Iron proceeds with significant security. Hiruzen brings Kakashi and Yamato along with standard bodyguards, recognizing that the summit will discuss Naruto extensively and having his teachers present will be valuable. Naruto himself is subdued during the journey, aware that this summit will determine how the shinobi world perceives him and, by extension, how they treat Konoha. The summit convenes in Mifune's neutral territory with all 5 Kage present. Hiruzen of Konoha, the Raikage, Gaara as Kazekage, Onoki as Tsuchikage, and Mei Terumi as Mizukage. The atmosphere is tense from the start, with the Raikage demanding to know how Konoha defeated an Akatsuki assault that his intelligence suggested should have destroyed the village. Hiruzen's response is direct Naruto Uzumaki, trained in techniques from the Forbidden Scroll, using abilities that include space-time ninjutsu and sealing techniques at mastery levels. The Raikage's reaction is skeptical, bordering on hostile. He demands proof, suggesting this is Konoha propaganda to inflate their military strength. Onoki, more pragmatic, notes that multiple intelligence sources confirm the events Pain's 6 paths defeated, Nagato converted, minimal village damage compared to expected devastation. The Tsuchikage's question is more pointed. How did a Jinchuriki gain access to techniques that even most Kage don't possess? Hiruzen explains the circumstances, the Forbidden Scroll theft, the decision to allow Naruto to keep the knowledge under supervision, the extensive training to ensure techniques were used responsibly. He acknowledges the controversial nature of this decision, but argues the results speak for themselves. Konoha now possesses a weapon capable of countering S-rank threats, and more importantly, someone with both the power and temperament to use it for protection rather than conquest. Gaara speaks in Naruto's defense, recounting how Naruto saved his life during the Kazekage rescue mission, preventing his death through sealing techniques that disrupted the extraction ritual. He argues that Naruto's power is matched by his commitment to protecting others, making him precisely the type of strength the shinobi world needs against Akatsuki. The Mizukage, intrigued rather than threatened, asks Naruto directly about his capabilities and limitations. Naruto responds honestly. He can teleport across significant distances using Flying Thunder God, create and coordinate hundreds of shadow clones, use sealing techniques to disrupt enemy abilities, and has begun learning principles underlying Sage Mode. His chakra reserves are enormous due to the 9 tails, but he's still learning to fully control the beast's power without losing himself to it. The summit's tone shifts from interrogation to negotiation, as the Kage recognize that Naruto represents a genuine strategic asset. The Raikage, though still suspicious, acknowledges that anyone who can defeat Pain deserves respect. Onoki proposes that rather than viewing Naruto's power as a threat, they should consider how his abilities could benefit a coordinated defense against Akatsuki. This is when intelligence arrives that shatters the careful diplomatic progress. Sasuke Uchiha has been spotted approaching the summit location with Taka. Guards report multiple casualties among samurai forces. The infiltration is aggressive and direct, suggesting Sasuke's target is someone at the summit itself. Hiruzen immediately understands that Sasuke must have learned about Danzo's role in the Uchiha massacre and come seeking revenge. Naruto's reaction is immediate and visceral. He stands abruptly, his chakra flaring as he recognizes the danger Sasuke is putting himself in. Attacking a summit with all 5 Kage present, after being labeled a missing nin. With Akatsuki's reputation for international incidents, this is effectively suicide. The Kage will be forced to respond with overwhelming force, and Sasuke, however strong he's become, cannot survive against coordinated assault from multiple Kage-level opponents. He requests permission to handle Sasuke personally, arguing that he can stop his former teammate without killing him, and without forcing the Kage into a political situation where they must execute a Konoha missing nin on neutral ground. The Raikage objects, wanting to capture or kill Sasuke for the attack on Killer B, but Gaara supports Naruto's request, noting that escalating to full combat will damage the summit's location and potentially derail the alliance discussions. Hiruzen makes the decision Naruto has 5 minutes to resolve the situation peacefully. If he fails, the Kage will respond with lethal force, and Naruto must not interfere with their duty. Naruto accepts these terms and uses Flying Thunder God to teleport to the summit building's exterior, where Sasuke is fighting through the remaining samurai guards. Their reunion is nothing like either of them expected. Sasuke, having just defeated multiple opponents using his Mangekyo Sharingan and Curse Mark enhancements, turns to find Naruto standing calmly in the corridor. For a moment, neither speaks, the weight of years and choices hanging between them. Then, Naruto breaks the silence with a question that carries genuine disbelief. Sasuke attacked a peace summit where all 5 Kage are gathered? Does he understand that's effectively declaring war on every major nation simultaneously? Sasuke's response reveals how far he's descended. He doesn't care about political consequences, about alliances, or international law. Danzo is here, the man who ordered the Uchiha massacre, and Sasuke will kill him regardless of who stands in his way. If that means fighting Naruto, fighting the Kage, burning everything down, so be it. His brother's sacrifice demands this revenge, and nothing else matters. The battle that erupts is catastrophic in its intensity. Sasuke immediately activates his Mangekyo Sharingan, black flames of Amaterasu spreading across the corridor as he attempts to overwhelm Naruto with his most powerful technique. Naruto responds with Sealing Jutsu, creating barriers that contain the flames while simultaneously teleporting away from areas where Amaterasu spreads. The corridor becomes a battlefield of black fire and spatial displacement, neither combatant able to land decisive blows. Sasuke manifests Susanoo, the skeletal construct forming around him as defense against Naruto's attacks. The technique is impressive. Sasuke has clearly progressed significantly since their last encounter, and the Susanoo more complete and powerful than during his fight with Itachi. He uses it to break through walls, pursuing Naruto deeper into the summit building while launching Amaterasu-coated projectiles that force constant repositioning. Naruto counters with combinations impossible for most ninja to execute. He creates shadow clone networks throughout the building, each one a potential teleportation point, while using wind release enhanced with sealing properties to disrupt Susanoo's chakra structure. The clash between them destroys entire sections of the building, walls collapsing and floors cracking under the force of their techniques. The Kage observe from a secure location, Mifune having evacuated them to a fortified chamber with viewing positions. What they witness confirms and exceeds their intelligence reports. Naruto demonstrates tactical brilliance, using Flying Thunder God as offensive weaponry, appearing behind Sasuke to land strikes, then teleporting away before Susanoo can counter. His shadow clones coordinate with precision that suggests each maintains independent intelligence, rather than being simple copies. Sasuke demonstrates why he's considered an S-rank threat despite his age. His Sharingan tracks Naruto's movements even through teleportation, predicting arrival points and preparing counterattacks. Amaterasu and Susanoo used in combination create zones where approaching becomes suicidal. He's incorporated lightning techniques that disrupt Naruto's sealing attempts, having learned specifically to counter the forbidden jutsu his former teammate possesses. The battle reaches its crescendo when both fighters prepare finishing techniques simultaneously. Sasuke charges a massive lightning technique channeled through Susanoo's blade, black flames coating the weapon to create an attack that combines his three most powerful abilities. Naruto prepares a response that combines Flying Thunder God, Shadow Clones, and sealing techniques in a formation that would capture Sasuke in a barrier from which even Susanoo couldn't break free. For a moment, they stand poised to destroy each other. Then Naruto hesitates, recognizing that his technique would likely kill Sasuke even if it succeeded in stopping him. The hesitation costs him the advantage. Sasuke doesn't share the same reluctance. He releases his technique, the lightning-enhanced Susanoo blade cutting through space toward Naruto with speed that even Flying Thunder God can barely evade. Naruto manages to teleport away, but the attack destroys the section of building where he was standing, the structural collapse threatening to bury both combatants. As debris falls and walls crumble, Obito's spatial distortion appears, his mask reflecting the chaos around them. He grabs Sasuke, commenting that attacking a Kage summit was bolder than expected but strategically foolish, and begins teleporting them away. Naruto lunges forward, trying to grab Sasuke before the technique completes, but his hand passes through the distorting space as they vanish. The corridor falls silent except for settling debris and distant sounds of samurai securing the area. Naruto stands alone, fist still extended toward empty air, having once again failed to bring Sasuke home. When he returns to the Kage chamber, the diplomatic landscape has shifted. The Kage witnessed everything Naruto's power, his restraint, his unwillingness to kill Sasuke even when given opportunity. The Raikage's assessment is blunt. Naruto could have ended the fight multiple times but chose not to, prioritizing his bond with Sasuke over tactical advantage. That kind of sentimentality is both admirable and dangerous. Gaara offers a different interpretation. Naruto's restraint doesn't represent weakness, but strength of conviction. He possesses power sufficient to kill Sasuke, but chooses instead to find another way, demonstrating exactly the type of character needed in someone who will hold significant military authority. The Kazekage argues that the Alliance needs both Naruto's power and his principles, that having someone with forbidden techniques who still values bonds over expediency is precisely what prevents those techniques from being abused. The Mizukage notes the practical implications if Naruto can fight Sasuke to a standstill while holding back, and Sasuke is considered a serious threat after attacking Killer Bee and now infiltrating the summit, then Naruto's actual capabilities when fighting without restraint are likely even more impressive than their intelligence suggested. This makes him valuable as a potential counter to Akatsuki's remaining heavy hitters. Hiruzen takes advantage of the moment to advocate for his village's position. Konoha has developed Naruto's abilities responsibly, trained him to use forbidden techniques with discretion, and produced a ninja who can engage S-rank threats while maintaining ethical standards. Rather than treating Naruto as a threat to be contained, the Alliance should recognize him as a resource to be strategically deployed. The summit reconvenes with new focus forming the allied shinobi forces, with explicit provisions for how Naruto will be utilized. The Raikage insists that Naruto cannot have independent authority to make strategic decisions despite his power, arguing that his demonstrated reluctance to kill Sasuke proves he's not yet ready for command responsibilities. Hiruzen counters that Naruto should be designated as Konoha's official representative to the Alliance, giving him authority to act on behalf of the village while remaining accountable to the Alliance's command structure. They reach a compromise. Naruto will serve as a special operative with broad tactical discretion, but under strategic oversight from Alliance leadership. His primary role will be rapid response to Akatsuki threats and protection of other Jinchuriki, particularly Killer Bee, who becomes de facto partner rather than isolated asset. The Alliance recognizes that having two Jinchuriki working together, especially with Naruto's forbidden techniques providing tactical advantages, creates a combination that even multiple Akatsuki members would struggle to overcome. Obito's declaration of war still comes, though through different channels intercepted communications rather than dramatic appearance. His message remains the same. Surrender the remaining Jinchuriki or face the reconstituted Ten Tails and the Eye of the Moon plan. The Alliance's response is unified rejection, strengthened by their confidence that Naruto represents a counter-strategy to Akatsuki's tailed beast collection. The immediate aftermath sees Naruto elevated to international prominence beyond anything in the original timeline. He's no longer just the Nine-Tails' Jinchuriki, or even the Forbidden Prodigy. He's now Konoha's official representative to the allied shinobi forces, a position that carries diplomatic weight across all 5 nations. Other Jinchuriki, learning about his role and his abilities, begin seeking him out for training and protection, recognizing that someone who defeated Pain and converted Nagato might possess knowledge to help them survive Akatsuki's pursuit. For Sasuke, the summit attack's failure represents confirmation of his darkest fears that he's still not strong enough, that even with Mangekyo, Sharingan, and Susanoo, Naruto remains beyond his reach. When Obito reveals his true identity as Madara Uchiha and offers alliance for destroying Konoha, Sasuke accepts without hesitation. He's past the point of caring about politics or alliances. His path now leads to either killing everyone who wronged the Uchiha or dying in the attempt. The alliance begins war preparations with Naruto as a central component of their strategy. His forbidden techniques become classified war assets, with intelligence divisions developing tactical scenarios for how to deploy his abilities against known Akatsuki members. The other Kage request demonstrations of his capabilities, trying to understand exactly what he can and cannot do so they can plan accordingly. Naruto finds himself simultaneously respected for his power and isolated by it, as ninja from other villages treat him more as a weapon to be aimed than a person to be known. The arc concludes with Naruto returning to Konoha as an international hero, but personally devastated. He achieved everything strategically, impressed the Kage, secured his position in the alliance, demonstrated his power, but failed personally by not preventing Sasuke's attack or convincing him to change course. The duality of his position becomes clear. He's strong enough to fight S-rank threats, important enough that Kage negotiate based on his capabilities, but still unable to save the one person whose opinion matters most to him. The stage is set for the 4th Shinobi World War, but the configuration is completely different from the original timeline. The alliance formed not from desperation, but from strength, unified around strategic assets that include Naruto's forbidden techniques. Sasuke is allied with Obito specifically to destroy Konoha, making him a primary antagonist rather than a peripheral threat. And Naruto must navigate the impossible balance between meeting international expectations as a war hero and maintaining his personal conviction that bonds can overcome hatred, even when his former teammate seems determined to prove otherwise. The summit demonstrated that Naruto possesses both the power to shape military outcomes and the restraint to use that power responsibly. But it also revealed the limits of power alone, that no amount of forbidden techniques can force someone to abandon their chosen path, that some conflicts cannot be resolved through superior capabilities or tactical brilliance. As the shinobi world prepares for war, Naruto faces the reality that his greatest challenge won't be defeating Akatsuki or protecting the alliance. It will be finding a way to reach Sasuke before the hatred consuming him destroys everything, including himself. And whether Naruto's conviction that bonds matter more than revenge can survive the test of actual war. Saga 10, 4th Great Ninja War, Part 1. In the original timeline, the 4th Great Ninja War represented the culmination of decades of accumulated hatred, political tensions, and power struggles across the shinobi world. After Obito's declaration of war at the 5 Kage Summit, both sides began massive preparations for the coming conflict. The allied shinobi forces, led by the Raikage as supreme commander with Gaara as regimental commander, organized their 80,000 ninja and samurai into 5 main combat divisions, plus specialized support units. The strategic deployment reflected careful analysis of Akatsuki's likely invasion routes. The 1st Division under Darui consisted of mid-range fighters stationed along the Land of Lightning's northern coast. Kitsuchi's 2nd Division of close-range fighters guarded the border between the Land of Lightning and Land of Frost. Kakashi commanded the 3rd Division of mixed-range combatants in the Land of Hot Water. Gaara led the 4th Division of long-range specialists, with Shikamaru as his proxy commander. Mifune's 5th Division served as a rapid response force capable of reinforcing any position. Specialized divisions included Shizune's Logistical Support and Medical Division, Kankuro's Surprise Attack Division, Ao's Sensor Division, and Inoichi Yamanaka's Intelligence Division coordinating information flow to headquarters. The strategy assumed Akatsuki would send forces by both land and sea from their base in the mountain's graveyard, requiring defense of multiple fronts simultaneously. Meanwhile, the Kage made the controversial decision to hide the two remaining uncaptured Jinchuriki Naruto and Killer Bee on a secret island in the Land of Lightning. The official reasoning was that they were too valuable and unpredictable to risk on the battlefield, but the decision also provided Naruto opportunity to train in controlling the Ninetales chakra under Bee's guidance. This training proved successful, with Naruto learning to access the Ninetales' chakra mode, dramatically increasing his speed and strength, though initially lacking Bee's finesse. Akatsuki's forces, though numerically fewer in named operatives, compensated with Kabuto Yakushi's alliance bringing the Edo Tensei technique. This forbidden jutsu reanimated deceased ninja as immortal warriors, creating an army that included former Akatsuki members, legendary shinobi from past eras, and even previous Kage. Combined with 100,000 white Zetsu clones created from Hashirama Senju's cells and tailed beast chakra, Obito and Zetsu commanded a force that rivaled the allied forces in raw numbers while exceeding them in individual power. The war began with Kabuto's surprise attack and diversion. Platoon reanimated Sasori, Deidara, and others, launching aerial bombardment to scatter enemy forces while White Zetsu infiltrated underground. The surprise attack division ambushed this force, managing to capture Deidara and seal Sasori, but Akatsuki's main strategy succeeded in creating chaos across multiple fronts. The 1st Division faced thousands of white Zetsu along the coast, eventually confronting reanimated versions of Asuma Sarutobi, the Gold and Silver Brothers, Dan Kato, Kakuzu, and Hisashi Hyuga. Darui captured the Gold and Silver Brothers using their own treasured tools, and Inoshika Cho formation sealed Asuma after his former students proved they had surpassed their teacher. However, Obito personally appeared to reclaim the captured brothers, summoning the demonic statue of the Outer Path to devastate allied forces and successfully escaping with his prizes. The 2nd Division under Kitsuchi unearthed approximately 20,000 white Zetsu, trying to infiltrate underground, but many escaped to other battlefields. The 3rd Division fought reanimated 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, plus Zabuza, Haku, Pakura, and Gari, suffering heavy casualties despite eventually sealing most opponents. The 4th Division faced previous Kage, including Mu, the 2nd Mizukage, 3rd Raikage, and 4th Kazekage, legendary opponents who tested even elite allied ninja. Night fell after the first day, with both sides having lost roughly half their forces. 80,000 allied troops reduced to 40,000, and 100,000 white Zetsu, reduced to 50,000 plus numerous sealed Edo Tensei. But Akatsuki's night strategy proved devastating. White Zetsu that had infiltrated allied ranks using chakra mimicry began systematically assassinating isolated personnel. Paranoia spread as ninja couldn't trust their comrades, unable to distinguish friend from transformed enemy. This crisis forced the allied leadership to make a desperate decision: deploy Naruto despite their earlier vow to keep him hidden. Only Naruto's newly developed ability to sense malicious intent through his connection with the Ninetales could identify the disguised Zetsu. He escaped confinement with Killer Bee, and despite the Raikage's initial opposition, Tsunade convinced him to allow the Jinchuriki to fight. Naruto immediately proved invaluable, using shadow clones to spread across battlefields, identifying and eliminating Zetsu while boosting allied morale. Naruto's shadow clones engaged reanimated opponents across multiple fronts, helping Gaara and Onoki defeat previous Kage, freeing Itachi from Kabuto's control to fight Nagato, assisting various divisions against Edo Tensei threats. His Ninetales chakra mode allowed him to shield entire divisions from devastating attacks, coordinate massive counteroffenses, and match reanimated legends through sheer power. The confrontation with Obito's 6 Paths of Pain reanimated Jinchuriki, with their Biju resealed and controlled via Rinnegan, represented the war's critical turning point. Naruto and Bee fought all 6 simultaneously, with Naruto learning from the Four Tails' Jinchuriki how to free them from control. By removing chakra receivers from each Jinchuriki, Naruto liberated the hosts and Biju, though Obito reclaimed the beasts into the demonic statue. When Obito's identity was revealed and Kabuto was defeated by Itachi and Sasuke, the Edo Tensei was released, returning most reanimated ninja to the afterlife. However, Madara Uchiha severed his connection to the technique, granting himself an immortal body while retaining free will. He devastated the 5 Kage in battle, leaving all critically wounded, then joined Obito to prematurely revive the 10 Tails, using the captured Gold and Silver brothers plus a tentacle from the 8 Tails. The original timeline's first phase of war demonstrated that even with 80,000 allied troops, Kabuto's Edo Tensei army created nearly insurmountable challenges. Individual reanimated legends required multiple elite ninja to seal, causing massive casualties. Naruto's intervention prevented complete collapse, but the allied forces remained on the defensive, reacting to Akatsuki's moves rather than dictating the battle's flow. That was the original timeline, a desperate struggle where the allies survived more through endurance and sacrifice than tactical superiority. But in the timeline where Naruto mastered the Forbidden Scrolls techniques, became internationally recognized as the Forbidden Prodigy, saved Jiraiya, converted Pain, and entered the war as an acknowledged legendary tier combatant. The Fourth Great Ninja War transforms from defensive survival into coordinated dominance. The divergence begins with war preparations themselves. The allied shinobi forces still form under Raikage's supreme command with Gaara as regimental commander, but Naruto isn't hidden away as a protected asset. Instead, he's positioned as the centerpiece of allied strategy, leading a new rapid response division, specifically designed around his flying thunder god capabilities. This division includes elite ninja from all 5 villages who train specifically to coordinate with Naruto's teleportation-based tactics. Before deployment, Naruto spends weeks placing flying thunder god seals across all anticipated battlefields. He marks key strategic positions, medical stations, command centers, and defensive fortifications throughout the Land of Lightning, Land of Frost, and Land of Hot Water. He marks commanders of each division, critical support personnel, and specialized assets. The SEAL network creates a web, allowing him to appear anywhere on any battlefield within seconds, fundamentally changing what rapid response means in military terms. Additionally, Nagato and Conan's alliance with Konoha provides unprecedented advantages. Nagato, though weakened from using Rinne Rebirth, offers strategic consultation based on his Akatsuki knowledge. He identifies likely Edo Tensei targets, explains Obito's personality and tactical preferences, and provides intelligence on Akatsuki hideout locations. Conan contributes her infiltration expertise and knowledge of Akatsuki's communication networks, helping Intelligence Division intercept enemy coordination. The War Council before deployment presents Naruto's capabilities to all division commanders. Demonstrations of Flying Thunder God show he can appear at any marked location instantaneously. His shadow clone technique, refined to maintain hundreds of intelligent clones simultaneously, means he can effectively support multiple battlefields at once. His sealing techniques, derived from Forbidden Scroll knowledge, offer solutions to Edo Tensei that standard combat cannot provide, specifically methods to disrupt the reanimation jutsu's control mechanisms rather than just sealing individual corpses. Shikaku Nara, as chief strategist, integrates these capabilities into comprehensive battle plans. Rather than static defensive positions, the strategy becomes fluid and reactive. Each division fights autonomously but knows Naruto can reinforce any position within seconds if they signal distress. Medical evacuation becomes instantaneous. Critically wounded, ninja are marked and teleported to medical stations before they can bleed out. Supply lines become irrelevant. Naruto can transport supplies, reinforcements, and intelligence directly to any battlefield. When the war begins, Akatsuki's initial strategy plays out similarly. White Zetsu infiltrate underground, while Kabuto's surprise attack and diversion platoon launches aerial bombardment. But the allied response is dramatically different. Kenkuro's surprise attack division ambushes the aerial force as planned, but when the battle turns against them, Naruto teleports directly to their location with reinforcements from the 5th Division. The fight that originally cost Muda Aburame his life and nearly collapsed the surprise attack division instead becomes a decisive allied victory within minutes. Deidara is captured as in the original timeline, but Sasori and the others are sealed before they can escape or cause significant casualties. Naruto's sealing techniques, applied directly to the Edo Tensei bodies, do they begin disrupting Kabuto's control, creating interference in the reanimation network that makes controlling other Edo Tensei more difficult. The second division's battle against 20,000 white Zetsu proceeds differently from the start. Kitsuchi still uses Earth Release to unearth the infiltrators, but Naruto appears immediately with shadow clones that spread throughout the battlefield. Each clone uses sealing techniques derived from the Forbidden Scroll, not individual seals that take time to apply, but area effect barriers that trap dozens of Zetsu simultaneously. What should be a grinding battle of attrition becomes systematic extermination, as Naruto's clones coordinate with 2nd Division Ninja to create kill zones where Zetsu are herded into sealed spaces. When white Zetsu attempt their infiltration strategy using chakra mimicry to disguise themselves as allied ninja, Naruto's sensory abilities identify them instantly. His shadow clones spread across all divisions, pointing out disguised enemies before they can begin assassinating personnel. The paranoia and mistrust that plagued the original timeline's night battles never develops because threats are eliminated before causing chaos. The 1st Division's coastal battle against reanimated Asuma, the Gold and Silver Brothers, and other legends becomes a demonstration of coordinated excellence. Darui still captures Ginkaku using the treasured tools, but when Kinkaku enters version 2 form and begins tearing through allied ranks, Naruto teleports directly to Darui's position. The combination of Naruto's Nine Tails chakra mode and Darui's lightning techniques creates synergies that overwhelm even Kinkaku's enhanced state, capturing him with minimal allied casualties. When Obito appears to reclaim the captured brothers and summons the demonic statue, Naruto recognizes the summoning's chakra signature from his studies with Nagato. He coordinates an immediate counteroffensive, using Flying Thunder God to mark the statue itself during its rampage. This allows him to teleport inside its barrier, planting sealing disruption tags that interfere with its connection to Obito. The statue still causes damage, but Naruto evacuates entire platoons by teleporting them to safety before devastating attacks land. Obito manages to reclaim the Gold and Silver Brothers, but sustains injuries from Naruto's counter-assault that weren't present in the original timeline. The 3rd Division's battle against the 7 ninja swordsmen and other reanimated threats transforms from desperate survival into tactical engagement. When Kakashi's forces begin taking heavy casualties, Naruto's clone arrives to teach. He demonstrates sealing techniques that can temporarily suppress Edo Tensei regeneration, creating windows where enemies can be permanently sealed. The 3rd Division adapts these methods, and what should take days of grinding combat is resolved in hours. The 4th Division's confrontation with previous Kage-Mu, the 2nd Mizukage, 3rd Raikage, and 4th Kazekage represents the war's first truly legendary battle. These are opponents who, in the original timeline, required multiple Kage and Naruto's intervention to defeat. Here, Naruto arrives before the battle fully develops, bringing Gaara and Onoki into coordination with his tactics immediately. The fight against the 3rd Raikage showcases the difference Naruto's growth makes. In the original timeline, defeating the Raikage required maneuvering him into accidentally attacking himself, a clever solution, but one that took massive effort and casualties to achieve. Here, Naruto analyzes the Raikage's lightning armor using principles from the Forbidden Scroll, recognizes it as an extreme application of chakra flow, and develops a counter in real time. He creates a sealing technique that disrupts the chakra flow, maintaining the armor, creating vulnerabilities that allow conventional attacks to damage the legendary Raikage. Against the 2nd Mizukage and his Steaming Danger Tyranny clone, Naruto's approach is similarly analytical. Rather than destroying the summoned clam through brute force, he uses sensory techniques to locate it through the mirage, marks it with Flying Thunder God, teleports inside the illusion, and plants sealing tags that collapse the jutsu from within. The Mizukage, impressed by this tactical brilliance, actually provides information about his own weaknesses before being sealed, acknowledging that Naruto represents the type of ninja the future needs. The most emotionally significant battle comes when Naruto encounters his reanimated father, Minato Namikaze. Kabuto's Edo Tensei summons the 4th Hokage along with the other deceased Hokage Hashirama, Tobirama, and Hiruzen. In the original timeline, Orochimaru summoned the first 3 Hokage much later to assist against Obito. Here, Kabuto uses all 4 as psychological warfare against Konoha's forces and specifically against Naruto. The reunion between Naruto and Minato is complicated by Minato being under Kabuto's control. The 4th Hokage, unable to resist the Edo Tensei's compulsion, attacks his own son with the Flying Thunder God technique that Naruto has mastered. The battle that follows is extraordinary. Two users of space-time ninjutsu engaging in combat that appears teleportation-based chaos to observers but represents intricate tactical positioning to the combatants. Naruto realizes he can't defeat his father through superior technique. Minato invented Flying Thunder God and understands its applications better than anyone. Instead, Naruto uses sealing knowledge from the Forbidden Scroll to do what Itachi did in the original timeline. He plants a release mechanism within himself that activates when Minato makes physical contact. The seal carries a message: memories of Jiraiya, knowledge of what Naruto has accomplished, and proof that Minato's legacy achieved exactly what he hoped for. When Minato strikes what should be a finishing blow, the seal activates and breaks Kabuto's control. Minato, now free to act independently, stands before his son with tears in his eyes, acknowledging that Naruto not only mastered his technique, but developed it beyond what Minato achieved. The father-son reunion that should be joyous is bittersweet. Minato is still dead, still trapped in Edo Tensei, but at least he can fight alongside his son for however long the jutsu maintains his body. Together, Minato and Naruto become the war's most formidable combination. They coordinate Flying Thunder God in ways no one else can match, marking each other, teleporting in sequence to create impossible attack angles, combining their techniques to create barriers and assaults that even legendary opponents struggle to counter. When they face other Edo Tensei, Minato's experience and Naruto's raw power create synergies that systematically dismantle Akatsuki's reanimated forces. The other freed Hokage Hashirama, Tobirama, and Hiruzen contribute their own expertise. Hashirama, impressed by Naruto's tactical brilliance and power, shares wood release principles that help Naruto understand how to counter Zetsu's Hashirama cell-based abilities. Tobirama, inventor of Edo Tensei, provides critical insights into the jutsu structure that allow Naruto to develop more effective sealing counters. Hiruzen, who watched Naruto grow from despised child to legendary prodigy, fights with pride and determination to protect the village and student who proved him right. The encounter with Itachi creates perhaps the most complex dynamic of the war's early phase. In the original timeline, Itachi broke free from Edo Tensei control through planted Kotoa Matsukami, then sought out Kabuto to end the jutsu entirely. Here, that still happens, but with the added complication that Sasuke is working loosely with Obito and Naruto is leading allied forces. When Itachi breaks free and begins tracking Kabuto to the mountain's graveyard, he encounters both his brother and his brother's former teammate. Sasuke, having learned the truth about Itachi from Obito, is conflicted. He knows Itachi sacrificed everything for Konoha, but he still harbors fury at the system that forced that choice. Naruto, having known Itachi's truth for longer through his own intelligence network, tries to convince Sasuke that revenge against Konoha accomplishes nothing except destroying what Itachi died to protect. The three-way confrontation is less a battle and more a philosophical argument conducted through combat. Itachi fights Sasuke to test whether his brother has grown strong enough to survive what's coming. Sasuke fights Naruto to prove he's not the weak link that needs protecting. Naruto fights both to demonstrate that power without purpose leads only to more suffering. All three are extraordinarily powerful. Itachi with Edo Tensei immortality, Sasuke with Mangekyo, Sharingan, and Curse Mark enhancements, Naruto with forbidden techniques and Ninetales chakra mode. The battle across forests and mountains showcases three completely different combat philosophies: Itachi's efficiency and Genjutsu mastery, Sasuke's aggressive lightning-enhanced attacks, and Susanoo, Naruto's combination of teleportation and overwhelming assault. Buildings collapse, terrain is devastated, and none can gain decisive advantage until Itachi does something unexpected. He stops fighting and begins explaining. He tells Sasuke that Naruto represents everything the Uchiha should have been. Powerful enough to command respect but committed to bonds over pride. Capable of changing enemies into allies, willing to sacrifice for others without losing himself to hatred. Itachi states that if Sasuke genuinely wants to honor the Uchiha legacy, he should become Naruto's rival in protecting Konoha, rather than his enemy in destroying it. Sasuke's response is fury. He doesn't want Itachi's approval of Naruto, doesn't want to be told who he should emulate, doesn't want lectures about legacy from someone who murdered their clan. But Itachi's words plant seeds of doubt that will grow throughout the war. For now, though, Sasuke departs with Obito's forces, leaving Naruto and Itachi to pursue Kabuto together. The assault on Kabuto at the mountain's graveyard proceeds with both Itachi and Naruto working in coordination. Kabuto's perfect Sage Mode and stolen abilities from the Sound 4 make him extraordinarily dangerous, but he faces opponents who counter his advantages. Itachi's Genjutsu mastery and Naruto's sealing techniques create a combination that systematically dismantles Kabuto's defenses. Naruto's role is particularly critical because his Forbidden Scroll knowledge includes information about Ryuchi, Cave Sage techniques, the same source as Kabuto's Sage Mode. He recognizes the weaknesses in snake-based Sage arts, understands how the technique affects chakra flow, and develops counters specifically targeting those principles. When Itachi traps Kabuto in Izanami, Naruto supplements the Genjutsu with sealing techniques that make breaking free nearly impossible. The defeat of Kabuto doesn't immediately end Edo Tensei. Madara severed his connection before that could happen, and other reanimated ninja maintain their summons briefly. But Naruto's sealing knowledge allows him to manually release individual Edo Tensei by disrupting their reanimation seals. He can't release all of them instantly, but he can prioritize the most dangerous ones, systematically reducing Akatsuki's forces before Kabuto finally surrenders and releases the technique completely. The battle against Obito's 6 Paths of Pain reanimated Jinchuriki, with their Biju resealed, represents Naruto's most emotionally challenging fight. These are people who died because Akatsuki hunted them, now forced to serve their murderers. The original timeline showed Naruto freeing them by removing chakra receivers, but here he goes further. Using sealing techniques from the Forbidden Scroll, combined with insights from Nagato about Rinnegan manipulation, Naruto establishes direct communication with the Biju themselves. He speaks to the tailed beasts, convinces them that he's not like previous Jinchuriki who saw them as weapons, promises that if they help him defeat Obito, he'll work to free all Biju from forced servitude. The Biju, shocked that a human possesses both the power to potentially restrain them and the compassion to offer freedom instead, respond with cautious cooperation. One by one, they assist in breaking Obito's control, fighting against their reanimated host's compulsion to create openings for Naruto to exploit. The battle becomes less about Naruto defeating Jinchuriki, and more about liberating both hosts and beasts from Obito's manipulation. When the Biju are finally freed and Obito attempts to reclaim them into the demonic statue, Naruto interferes with the sealing process itself. He can't prevent the statue from capturing the beasts, but his sealing disruption ensures the capture is incomplete. Portions of each Biju's chakra remain in the world, weakening what Obito can use for his plans. The relationship Naruto develops with the Biju becomes one of the war's most significant developments. In the original timeline, Naruto befriended Kurama, and the other beasts gradually acknowledged him. Here, his combination of power, knowledge, and genuine respect earns their trust much earlier. They begin actively advising him, sharing techniques and wisdom accumulated over centuries. Kurama specifically becomes fully synchronized with Naruto, no longer fighting for control but contributing willingly to their combined strength. This complete Biju cooperation transforms Naruto's combat capabilities. His Nine Tails Chakra mode gains additional abilities. He can use aspects of other Biju's techniques, channeled through Kurama, create defenses that combine multiple tailed beasts' elements, and generate attacks that carry concentrated Biju chakra in forms that even Obito's Rinnegan struggles to absorb or deflect. As the first major phase of war concludes, the strategic situation has transformed completely from the original timeline. Allied casualties, while still significant, are perhaps a quarter of what they should have been. Naruto's teleportation-based medical evacuation saved thousands who would have bled out on the battlefield. White Zetsu forces are almost completely eliminated rather than merely reduced by half. Most Edo Tensei are released or sealed rather than continuing to fight indefinitely. The psychological impact is equally important. In the original timeline, Allied forces survived day one through desperate endurance and lucky breaks. Here, they fought with coordination and confidence, knowing that reinforcement and support could arrive instantly if needed. Morale remains high because they've achieved decisive victories rather than barely surviving. The sense that they're on the offensive rather than defensive fundamentally changes army cohesion. For Obito and Akatsuki, the situation is dire. The White Zetsu army is decimated. Kabuto's Edo Tensei advantage is negated, and they've lost multiple powerful pieces without achieving significant objectives. Obito is forced to accelerate his timeline. The Ten Tails must be revived now using whatever partial Biju chakra he's collected rather than waiting for ideal conditions. The Gold and Silver Brothers' Nine Tails chakra and the Eight Tails tentacle become essential rather than supplementary to his plans. Madara Uchiha's survival and independence from Edo Tensei control remains as dangerous as in the original timeline, but he faces an allied force that hasn't been ground down by days of attrition. The 5 Kage who confront him are fresh rather than exhausted. Though the outcome of that battle, all Kage critically wounded, still occurs because Madara's power is simply that overwhelming. However, because allied casualties have been lower overall, they have more forces available to slow Madara's advance toward the Ten Tails' revival location. The first phase ends with Obito, Madara, and remaining Akatsuki forces gathering at a prepared position to complete the Ten Tails revival. The allied shinobi forces, while wearied from battle, are largely intact and positioned to prevent that revival, or at minimum fight the Ten Tails with full strength. Naruto stands at the center of allied strategy, acknowledged by all as their greatest weapon, and, perhaps more importantly, as someone who fights with purpose, that inspires others to exceed their limits. The Biju are not Akatsuki's prisoners, but Naruto's allies, willing to lend their strength because he's proven himself worthy. The reanimated Hokage, freed from Edo Tensei control, remain on the battlefield as consultants and fighters, bringing centuries of wisdom to bear. Sasuke is somewhere in the middle, not fully allied with Obito, not reconciled with Naruto, but questioning everything Itachi's words and Naruto's actions revealed about his chosen path. As both armies gather their strength for what will be the war's climactic battles, the stage is set for confrontations that will determine what kind of shinobi world will exist afterwards. Naruto has demonstrated that power and compassion need not be mutually exclusive, that forbidden techniques can be used for protection rather than destruction, and that bonds forged in battle can transcend even the deepest hatreds. Whether those lessons survive the coming battles against the Ten Tails, Obito's Eye of the Moon plan, and Madara's overwhelming might remains to be seen, but the first phase of war has proven that with the right combination of strength and conviction, even impossible odds can be overcome. Saga 11: Final War. Madara, Obito, Kaguya. The original timeline's war conclusion represented the ultimate test of everything Naruto had become. After devastating both armies, the conflict escalated when Madara broke free from Edo Tensei and joined Obito in reviving the Ten Tails using the Gold and Silver Brothers' Nine Tails chakra and a captured Eight Tails tentacle. The Ten Tails proved catastrophic, requiring the entire allied shinobi forces to merely restrain it. Madara and Obito controlled the beast, using it to destroy allied headquarters and kill Shikaku Nara, Inoichi Yamanaka, and countless coordinators. When Obito became the Ten Tails' Jinchuriki, he transformed into a godlike being immune to conventional damage. Only after desperate struggle did Naruto extract the tailed beasts from Obito's body. Madara then reclaimed the beasts and became Jinchuriki himself, his power exceeding even Obito's. Might Guy opening all 8 gates only injured him without stopping him. The Sage of Six Paths intervened from beyond death, granting Naruto and Sasuke his power. Naruto receiving chakra from all 9 Biju and truth-seeking balls, Sasuke awakening his Rinnegan. Before they could seal Madara, Black Zetsu revealed its true nature as Kaguya Otsutsuki's will, and betrayed Madara to revive its creator. Kaguya's dimensional nightmare followed teleporting combatants across lava worlds, frozen tundras, and acid seas. Her all-killing ash bones could disintegrate anything. Obito sacrificed himself to shield Naruto and Sasuke, granting Kakashi temporary Mangekyo Sharingan. Team 7's coordinated assault finally trapped Kaguya in Six Paths Chibaku Tensei. Sasuke then revealed his revolutionary intentions: execute the Kage, control all Biju, become the world's enemy to unite nations against him. This forced the final valley of the end battle. They fought for a day before their final Rasengan and Chidori clash destroyed each other's dominant arms. Sasuke finally acknowledged Naruto, accepting defeat. Together, they released the Infinite Tsukuyomi. Kakashi became 6th Hokage, and Naruto became an international hero. That was the original timeline victory, through sacrifice and narrow margins. But with Naruto's Forbidden Scroll mastery, the final war transforms into a demonstration of how knowledge overcomes even godlike opponents. The divergence becomes critical when the Ten Tails manifests. Naruto recognizes it from the Forbidden Scroll's historical records about the Sage of Six Paths and the origin of chakra. When Obito and Madara manipulate the Ten Tails, Naruto coordinates with the Biju, already his allies, to create interference patterns in their chakra signatures that disrupt the Ten Tails' stability. This weakens Obito's control when he becomes Jinchuriki. Naruto uses Forbidden Scroll sealing techniques to forcibly enter Obito's mental landscape, showing him visions of genuine peace through genjutsu-enhanced seals. Combined with Kakashi and Minato's emotional appeals, Obito's redemption comes earlier. When tailed beasts are extracted, Naruto's sealing techniques prevent Obito's immediate death. He survives critically wounded rather than dying. Madara's arrival and beast theft proceed similarly, but when facing Naruto directly, Madara recognizes Forbidden Scroll techniques. His comment carries weight. "You learned from the Scroll of Seals. The fourth would be proud." He understands exactly how dangerous Naruto has become. The battle against Madara as Jinchuriki reaches unprecedented scales. Naruto counters with Flying Thunder God to avoid supposedly unavoidable attacks, teleports wounded allies to safety mid-battle, and uses sealing techniques to disrupt Madara's connection to the Ten Tails. When Might Guy opens 8 gates, Naruto uses Flying Thunder God to support Guy's assault, teleporting him into optimal positions. Guy survives crippled rather than nearly dying. The Sage of Six Paths grants his power, but the effect on Naruto is transformative. His forbidden technique knowledge combines with Six Paths chakra to create unprecedented applications. Flying Thunder God becomes capable of dimensional travel. Sealing techniques affect reality itself. His Reaper Death Seal understanding gives insight into life-death manipulation that amplifies the Sage's power. When Black Zetsu revives Kaguya, Naruto recognizes her from Forbidden Scroll references to the Rabbit Goddess and progenitor of chakra. He immediately adapts his sealing knowledge to develop counters. The dimensional battle becomes a chase, where Flying Thunder God provides crucial mobility. He marks locations in each dimension, creating a network for rapid repositioning. When Kaguya separates them by sending Sasuke to the desert dimension, Naruto forces open portals between dimensions, using sealing knowledge combined with Six Paths power. Obito's sacrifice still occurs when Kaguya attacks with all-killing ash bones, but it's a conscious choice by a redeemed man, rather than desperate redemption through death. His final act grants Kakashi temporary Mangekyo Sharingan, and his words carry more weight. The coordinated assault that seals Kaguya is enhanced by Naruto's forbidden knowledge. When Team 7 executes their final attack, Naruto supplements Six Paths Chibaku Tensei with Reaper Death Seal principles, not summoning the Death God, but incorporating soul-binding properties that make Kaguya's imprisonment spiritual as well as physical. Black Zetsu finds its consciousness trapped in eternal loop, ensuring it can never manipulate again. Hagoromo acknowledges Naruto created a seal stronger than what the sage originally used. Then, Sasuke reveals his revolutionary intentions. His reasoning differs, he acknowledges. Naruto's power could maintain peace, but argues relying on one person creates the same problem as infinite Tsukuyomi. Naruto counters that he's created alliances with Biju, earned international respect, and demonstrated power coexisting with compassion. He offers Sasuke partnership, where opposing philosophies work together. Sasuke rejects this, not because it's flawed, but because he doesn't trust his darkness won't corrupt any system he's part of. He believes he must remain outside as unifying threat. This forces the final battle not because Sasuke wants to destroy the world, but because he doesn't believe he deserves to be part of saving it. The Valley of the End confrontation exceeds all previous battles, both at absolute peak. Sasuke with Rinnegan and Six Paths chakra, Naruto with the same plus forbidden techniques, and Biju cooperation. Sasuke's Indra's arrow clashes with Naruto's Ultra Big Ball Rasen Shuriken, enhanced with natural energy. But Naruto adds a twist at impact. He uses Flying Thunder God to shift position by inches, changing angle so both techniques deflect rather than meeting head-on. The explosion devastates landscape, but both survive without complete chakra exhaustion. They continue fighting, Naruto repeatedly creating openings he refuses to exploit lethally. In the final exchange, Naruto uses modified Reaper Death Seal, not to kill Sasuke, but to seal their combined hatred and darkness. The technique costs both their arms, but the seal takes more than limbs. It takes the cursed cycle of Indra and Asura's hatred, ending the reincarnation loop permanently. Both feel destiny's weightlifting, replaced by genuine choice. Lying beside each other, Sasuke finally accepts what Naruto demonstrated. Power and bonds aren't mutually exclusive. Protecting people doesn't require becoming their enemy. He can be part of light without darkness consuming him. The seal of reconciliation literally ends a generations-old cycle. The infinite Tsukuyomi ends. The world awakens. Casualty counts are significantly lower than original timeline due to Naruto's teleportation-based evacuations. Obito survives crippled but alive, choosing to face justice rather than seeking easy death. Political aftermath differs dramatically. Kakashi is named 6th Hokage initially, but within months proposes Naruto should take the position. Hiruzen supports this, arguing Naruto's capability, international respect, and unique power make him the logical choice. At 19, Naruto Uzumaki becomes the youngest Hokage in history. Sasuke is pardoned for war contributions and Naruto's advocacy. Rather than wandering for redemption, he accepts Naruto's offer to serve as Shadow Hokage, working behind scenes to handle threats Naruto can't address publicly. It's the balance Naruto proposed, and Sasuke finally accepts he's worthy. The tailed beasts choose to remain accessible rather than isolating. They recognize cooperation with humanity is now possible, that Naruto represents the bridge between their world and the human one. This creates dynamics where Biju power supports peace rather than threatening it. The war's conclusion is systemic transformation. Naruto fundamentally altered how the world operates. His combination of overwhelming power and demonstrated compassion creates a paradigm where strength maintains peace through respect rather than threat. The forbidden techniques that could have made him a tyrant instead made him a leader capable of backing ideals with capability. As the shinobi world enters its new era with the youngest Hokage leading it, the question isn't whether peace will last, it's what kind of peace it will be. The cycle is broken through transformation rather than elimination, and the future will be shaped by the lesson that true strength isn't about standing alone, but about lifting everyone alongside you. If you enjoyed our video today, make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.